Alright, hello everyone, it's TNP. We are streaming a special birthday stream for Meco, our founder, who's the birthday boy today.
Founder, yes, the guy who has like zero input in this glorious 35 subscribers channel.
Yeah, we get an average of 2 viewers, I think, which is very impressive, of course. And so today,
Two viewers, and one of those will be me, and the other one will be you.
yeah, exactly. Usually that's how it is. One of them's me and one of them's Mr. A. But we are playing Digimon World today for PlayStation, which is a game that I had as a kid. I think I had 2 discs of it actually, and they both broke growing up. But I never really like understood the game very well. So it's always had this sort of sense of mystery to me ever since, because I haven't really played it since growing up. So we'll see how I do. But this is not an expert Digimon stream by any means. So we have this lovely intro here for the start.
His graphics are incredible.
Yeah, this was really cutting edge at the time, I think.
It's like the Tekken one. You've seen the Tekken one where it cuts to one of the
Yeah,
Kazuya, and it's just like a really barky smile. Jesus.
yeah. Remember Donkey showed that off in one of his videos
Yeah.
on old graphics.
So you said you played this when you were younger.
Yeah, I was like I think it was one of the first games I had that my dad bought for me. Because, at first I was just playing some of his games, and then he later on he would buy some for me. We had a PS1, and we got this game, which, again, I really had no idea how to play it, so I just kind of do random shit, and I would read, like, guides that were all really misinformed, so I always get, like, the shit Digimon, or, like, my Digimon would die on me, and I get really upset because my Digimon would die. That's the sort of stuff I remember with this one.
Fax days.
Yeah, exactly. And I remember it being kind of, like, obscure with a lot of the stuff you do. Um, but I never really understood it. And like,
Yeah.
I kind of tried to keep it that way on purpose for this stream.
Well, I used to the PlayStation had so many RPGs, especially JRPGs, whereas the at the time when I was younger, I was always like more of a Dreamcast fanboy to like well, should I say more of a Sega fanboy in general. But Sega never really had any good JRPGs really, apart from like Skies of Arcadia, and that was much later.
Yeah,
Most of the
they
game,
had like the
so
Shining series, I guess.
yeah, oh, they had one called Evolution, but that was really obscure. Like you had to have a Dreamcast to play it, and obviously, as you know, the Dreamcast wasn't a very successful console. So if you never owned one, you'll have never heard of that game ever.
Yeah, I've never heard of it. I've heard of
I
like
don't think it was great.
Shining and Fantasy Star, of course. But
Oh yeah, yeah. There's still years later. There's still like had like private servers, like fan-made private servers for Fantasy Star once Sega shut down the official servers.
yeah, I remember that they're fan made ones for uh, like the MMO thing. All right, so we filled out some questions on our Digimon. He asked us whether we have any friends, and I told him no. So that will affect what Digimon we start with, I think. Last time he asked me if I liked night or day, and I said night.
Him and it started asking if you were single or married, and you were like, okay, this is not the same game that I remember.
Yes, if you're gay or straight.
If you're black or white,
All of
that'll
this,
affect the Digimon you get later.
yeah, all of this affects what Digimon you get. It's this little boy in the yellow sweater is our main character, and in these cutscenes, he seems to be voiced by the same guy who voiced Izzy in the dub of the anime. So that's
Oh.
a nice fun fact for you. Who was the nerdy kid of the crew, the computer whiz sort of guy.
Look at that anime effect, the dashing anime effect.
Yeah, and here's some like cross advertising for because you used to be able to have a Digivice like this, and it was like a Tamagotchi type of thing, like really very similar to that, but with a Digimon. So they use the game to sort of advertise that. I used to have one.
Well, I mean, at least they're advertising their own product. At least there's no like Coca-Cola out there. So.
Yeah, that'd be really cool. Maybe we will see that later.
I remember just on the topic of advertisements, like playing Dead or Alive, and that was like it advertised Ninja Gaiden in the background of like one of the maps, and I always found that like really bizarre. Like, oh, imagine like games doing that, like advertising upcoming games, and now they literally are doing that.
Yeah. Couldn't you unlock Ryu Hayabusa in one of the Dead or Alive games?
It's like a default character, like he just came. I think it was in the very first Dead or Alive, but it didn't have a mask or anything. Well, no, I could be right. Yeah, it looked different anyway. I always wanted to play Dead or Alive 3 because I think it looks more like his Ninja Gaiden, costume.
Yeah, but wasn't it supposed to be like all about playing like really sexy girls in like bikinis? So Ryu
Of
Hayabusa
course, like
feels a
why
little
else
bit
would anybody play that game?
out of place. They should have
Well,
had him in like a really skimpy like speedo or something.
They do have male characters on it. I think the game does get a lot of shit for being like, obviously, I mean, typically Japanese over-sexualizing every character, but and having obviously been notorious for the boob physics, which were like a main focus of the game.
Yeah, I thought that was like the whole point of the game, basically. So I kind of like it better when it just like wears it on its sleeve, that's the entire purpose of the thing, instead of like putting it into something that is, supposed to be like an adventure story or something. Like they do with most animes.
Now he's been sucked into his Game Boy.
Yeah, we got sucked into the digital world. So yeah. Yeah, they are in need of help, of course. So
I think I can tell which is the main character because a few of these are just sprites, and I can tell a couple of 3D models. So I'm assuming they're the ones that you can choose.
Yeah, I think the Gabumon. I think we got Gabumon, who's the one on the bottom there.
Yeah, him and the white thing at the top, but the others are all obviously like sprites.
Yeah. Yeah, so when they ask you the questions, I guess if you give the more like edgy loner type of questions, you get Gabumon, and if you give the more happy-go-lucky ones, you get Agumon. So if I said I had friends, I probably would have gotten Agumon instead of Gabumon. But those are both popular Digimon from the show, of course.
I recognize the bottom one. I don't really recognize the top one too well.
Yeah, that's one of the like baby Digimon, sort of.
How fun! I didn't see you doing the menu a bit very well.
Yeah, and then why did you on Meco?
So you're going to be commanding me around.
Yes, exactly. I have to take care of you so you don't get sick or anything.
I don't die.
Yeah, they can die in this game.
Wow, is that Meco?
So I guess all the Digimon are going feral, and we have to kind of civilize them again.
I'm a bit disappointed you didn't call it Mecomon. But...
Oh yeah, true. I guess I could have done that. I don't know if that would even fit, actually. I had to change my name to X-Death with just the X, because the character limit is really small. 6 characters, I guess.
Thank you, Obi-Wan. You're my only hope.
Yeah. Yes, they have to rely on a little kid to save them.
It gets me. It's like that with what is it? What's the other games? There's a lot of games like that with just putting the whole world in the hands of a child and go, yeah, you're the chosen one because you came from another world. What other game am I thinking of now? I might be getting mixed up with that Pokemon, that newer.
Oh, Legends Arceus, that thing.
Yeah. It's like someone just drops from the sky. It's like, you are the chosen one. It's like, I guess.
Yeah. Well, you know, Pokemon, it used to be... You used to kind of just be some kid that, like, happened to be good at Pokemon, like in the very first one. That's how it works. But as the series went on, they always kind of tried to make this storyline about you being the chosen one who has some kind of, like, shared destiny with the most important legendary Pokemon of the story. And I always thought that was kind of lame. Okay, one second. I'm actually gonna turn the volume down on the game a little. I always kind of liked it better when you were just some random kid, instead of trying to have this grandiose story about you being the chosen one and shit. So, like, when Pokemon Gold and Silver, they did the remakes of those, they kind of changed the storyline to make it so you were, like, a destined kid, and these, like, kimono girls who, told you about your destiny, which had to do with, like, communing with Ho-Oh or Lugia. Whereas in the other games, that whole side quest was just like an incidental thing. Like, you could just go there and catch the legendary Pokemon if you felt like it. It didn't have anything to do with the story, and you were just some kid. And I kind of liked that more.
Yeah. I mean, I think the newer Digimon games look a little bit more interesting than the newer Pokemon games to me. I mean, I gave that Chaos, if that's how you pronounce it, a shot, and I'm already extremely bored of it. Well, I got bored of it like a few weeks after playing it, I guess. Whereas the Digimon games look a little bit more interesting. I don't know, maybe because they've kind of
like
stuck to like
Digimon
traditional.
Cyber Sleuth and stuff.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't played them, and I probably won't for a long time, but they do look a little bit more interesting than Arceus, which seems to, like, I always have this feeling that every time Pokemon is Pokemon, people just buy it regardless.
That's definitely a big factor in it, yeah. I think Arceus is kind of less of a bad example of that. Like, when, you know, the new sort of generation of Pokemon comes out, it's always, like, for the last several ones at least, it's been very, very mediocre, really. Like, they don't put much money or effort into it, and it's just kind of like a very mid-tier JRPG, but because the license is so popular and there's so many sort of like marketable little animals, they still sell super well. Oh, and the nostalgia factor of it, I guess. I think the Digimon RPGs are kind of the same. Like, they're not very high budget games. This one's kind of the most interesting because it's such a weird combination of things, and it's like surprisingly, from how I remember it anyways, it's kind of surprisingly cruel. It will kill your Digimon or turn it into a shit Digimon if you don't play very carefully.
I've just noticed that we've got a permanent black screen.
Uh-oh. Yes. Thank you for pointing that out.
I thought it was like loading, and then it hasn't changed.
Yeah. Okay, let me see. Why is that happening now? Okay, there we go. Should come back up.
Yeah, there we are.
We were just in the house talking to some of the Digimon who would kind of like tutorialize the mechanics for us, and I'm saving the game.
Memory cards. What a generation that one.
Yeah.
So I went to trade in some. I told you I went to trade in some of my PlayStation games and that today, and I traded in. I can't remember. An old PS3 game I had. I think it was like Valkyria Chronicles or something. I can't remember which one it was. And like all of my promos fell out.
Oh.
I forgot to like left them in there, and I was like, and the guy behind the counter was like, "Oh, I'll take those." Like, no, you won't. Like, I completely forgot about them. Like, some of them are worth like, I don't know. I'm going to say £50. I don't know how that translates in Canadian dollars, but
I don't know.
I guess like $60 or something in USD. But I was like, no, I'll be taking those. And you can, I completely forgotten like a bunch of them just like rolled all across the counter.
It's really funny.
So that made me giggle.
You almost got gypped.
Well, the thing is, I was just it's a good job we like checked all the discs in front of me because I could have just like traded them in and just like bailed, but
True, yeah. Okay. I'm showing off some of the menus here. There's this big chart. This is like all the possible Digimon you can have. And so if you've ever had that Digimon, it will like get filled out.
not many, is there?
No, there's definitely not 150 like Pokemon had.
There's only so many mons that they can come up with.
I guess so. And this is the evolution tree for Gabumon, so you can turn into 6 potential champion Digimon. And it depends. I remember this being like a huge deal. There's this like gym type of area where you can kind of spend time with your Digimon to level up its stats. And I remember when I used to play, I would kind of just like only ever do this. This was like all I did was train my Digimon at the gym thing.
Just leave it on this and go do something else.
Yeah, you might even be able to do that.
I mean, to be fair, the graphics on it aren't too bad for its era. I mean, this looks better than or just at least on par with Final Fantasy IX, but definitely better than like 7 or 8.
Yeah, with this models at least.
Yeah. I mean, the character design for the main character is questionable because it just looks like a skater thug or something.
Yeah, it's not really that interesting a character design. Okay, so that one trains HP and speed, the running challenge. And I think I looked it up, like I never really knew how to get my Digimon to evolve into what I wanted it to. Because, you know, in the anime, Gabumon would evolve into Garurumon. Or,
Right.
and Agumon would evolve into Greymon. I remember I always tried to get Greymon and never really could. I think it mainly comes from the stats. So if you, like, trained them really well and they reach certain stat thresholds, that's what caused them to turn into the cool forms.
You just tap in this board and he's just going, yep.
Yeah, this is the brain training. We're teaching him, we're educating him, I guess, about Japanese language by the looks of things.
This is exactly what it looks like when I'm chatting shit on AFT and people are
Yeah.
acting like they understand what I'm talking about.
Yeah, you would be the trainer in this case, and everyone on AFT would be Gabumon. We just nod along, because if we don't, you'll go on a huge rant shitting on us for not agreeing with you.
Yeah. Taking over everything, but putting very little effort.
Oh, and now he's hungry. If you don't feed him quickly enough when he's hungry, it's what counts as a care mistake, which you know, it's just when you take shitty care of your Digimon, and that will cause it to turn into the shit Digimon, or at least a shitty Digimon.
This is putting me in the mind of the Nintendo Direct recently.
Oh yeah, the one where they unveiled Pikmin.
No, just tons of like farming games and life simulators.
Farming. It was a farming theme, like themed direct, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a little bit crazy. I mean, it was okay. They had some decent titles in there. I'm glad to see that they are like bringing back things. I mean, I'm not bothered about the Tales games. I've already expressed my distaste for the franchise, but you know, it was good for those, I guess, who. Yeah, I think it only came out on the PS3 remaster or something. I could be wrong because I don't keep up to date. But it's good to see that they're porting it to more consoles. But the title for the upcoming Zelda game is it very interesting, very well timed. Nintendo.
Yeah, that was funny. Tears of the Kingdom.
Yeah. I mean, I find it hilarious, but some people are genuinely like upset about it. Like, oh, it's really not well timed. It's like, like Nintendo are going to give a shit in the long run. I mean, they're trying to sell a game.
Well, they came up with that title before it happened, before the player
Yeah.
died. Anyway, it's not like it was, not like they're purposely trying to slight the UK or anything like that.
I mean, they could have perfectly timed it. They could have been like, guys, you know what's just happened? I've got the perfect title.
I mean, that is possible.
Are we seriously watching the Digimon take a shit?
Yep. We have to take him to the toilet. That's another one of the care mistakes you can make, is if he has a little shit icon on him and you don't take him to the bathroom fast enough, he
Oh yes, I remember. I remember playing this. And I remember doing that. And I don't think I ever took him, and he just used to shit everywhere.
yeah, he just shit on the floor.
Yes, I think that is literally how I remember from this game. Is my Digimon shitting.
Well, and that's what counts as one of the care mistakes too. So if you just have him shit on the floor all the time, people turn into the shit Digimon, which is literally just like a yellow pile of shit. As a Digimon.
Really?
Yeah. So I remember that happened to me quite a lot. Because I remember one of the things I remember was like, I think my dad, I don't know if he like was coming up with them on his own or if he had like a guide or something, but it said that you should like, as soon as you get your Digimon, you should go here into the gym and train just constantly and like not even stop to like go to sleep or take a shit, and that will get you the best Digimon, which is not, that does not work. That racks up a bunch of care mistakes and you'll probably turn into one of the shitty Digimon, either the slug thing or the shit Digimon.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Shit him on.
Because, to get the very best Digimon, you can't make any care mistakes at all.
That's pretty brutal.
Yeah. You can make a couple and still get a, like, decent Digimon. I think the hardest one is actually the bathroom, because if you're in the... Because you also will, like, once your Digimon's ready, you'll go around and explore the areas and stuff, right? And so if you don't
Yeah.
kind of memorize where the toilets are and your Digimon has to go to the bathroom and you like, can't find one quickly enough, you can easily make that care mistake.
I honestly thought like that was a joke in video games, like when people are saying about realism, and yet there's no game where you have to, go for a shit or piss, and then this game just went.
Yeah. This was a very innovative game for its time.
This is what Hideo Kojima wanted when he made Death Stranding. He wanted some kind of like tedious, Well, that's a game that I mean, you cannot technically piss in that game, but I'm surprised Kojima didn't, since people complain about it being a walking simulator anyway, why not add the thing where pissing is a necessity?
Good question. Maybe that's an idea for Death Stranding 2.
Yeah, I've seen recently he's been advertising something new. So I wonder if we're seeing either Death Stranding 2 or some other crazy idea he's got.
Yeah, who knows with him, right?
I do actually know a fun fact about Digimon, by the way. I was going to say is Hosoda, who you may know for directing The Girl Let Through Time and Summer Wars. Digimon was actually one of his very first projects,
Yeah, that's
directing
right.
the movies for them.
Yeah, the
directed.
OVA things. They got made into a movie in North America.
Yeah. And then he moved on to that to make, which a lot of people say is what makes Summer Wars so unoriginal, because a lot of people accuse him of just basically copying one of the older stories he made for Digimon Adventure.
Okay.
And just recycling it and obviously changing some things around to make Summer Wars, which is why Summer Wars is considered one of his more weaker titles. Well, it was up until like Bell and Mirai, I think it's called, came out.
Yeah.
And Bell just kind of feels like a rehash of Summer Wars. So.
Uh-oh. Maybe he only had so many ideas.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
So now we're seeing a fight which is mostly auto, I think. We can only say your call or run. And so we just kind of watch Gabumon fight here.
I mean, this would be me if I were a Pokemon trader. Just do things, whatever it is that you do. Your call.
Yeah. Same. It looks like our guy's winning pretty easily because we spent so much time working out in the gym, of course.
Look, this is me and you in a debate. I'm Me, obviously.
True. You kicked my ass. Now I'm lying on the ground in humiliation. That does express kind of how I feel after I spend too much time posting on AFT. I just want to lie on the ground and cry. And then I say, I lost rats.
What a shame.
But now
That
we have
is kind of driving me insane.
What is?
The Deus Ex meme.
Oh yeah, we definitely overuse it.
I start like, you know, physically cringing. I'm just like, no, it's coming. I can see it. He's already wrote what a shame.
It has gotten a bit extreme, I will admit.
It's how I went about the other day. She's like, why does XDF keep talking about this? Why do you keep saying what a shame and then like the same thing? I said, well, you see, there's this guy called JC Denton.
Yes, our Lord and Savior.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah, I kind of did it on purpose the one time because it was actually over the Queen when I said what a shame she was a good queen. What a runway to die, and Kaoru didn't get it, so she's like, "What are you on about? She had a very comfortable life." That was funny.
Yeah, and that's around about the time when she asked me, I think, because she was a little bit confused as to what you were talking about.
Yeah, because then I just spammed more JC Denton quotes at her, of course.
I've been to ask as well, do you guys prefer or do you not really like the new TNP look at the moment with the retro kind of red and yellow look?
I like it. I think it's kind of cool.
It's not a permanent fixture. I will get around to it. I just felt like the other ones kind of didn't make much sense as a color scheme for a video game thing. Yeah.
I thought it was kind of nice, but I see what you mean. Yeah, there is more. This one evokes video games more.
Yeah, it felt a bit more retro. As soon as that's what you guys were mainly playing, I was just like, well.
True, we only play old ass games.
I wouldn't know because obviously I rarely make an appearance, but
True.
I do watch back. I watched through some of the Silent Hill one, which I'm kind of disappointed that I didn't join because that is one of my favorite games. But
oh yeah, we probably could have made it a more inclusive time for you if you needed it.
this is the thing, it sucks, and obviously, as I mentioned to you earlier, privately, it might be a little bit more difficult for me to attend at the moment, or go ahead with my solo stream that I planned on doing, but things cropped up. I mean, I want to do something because I've upgraded my PC recently. It's such a shame to not put it to use and, have 5 streams going at the same time like Ninja or something.
That would be very cool, yeah.
And have like a live webcam from different angles.
That would be extremely impressive.
And I also approached you with the idea of VTubing, so I'm still working on that. I give you a JC Denton VTuber avatar, and we'll go from there.
Good. I wouldn't want you to I wouldn't want to miss out on the chance to be a VTuber.
Especially a JC Denton.
That'll just encourage me though. I'll say what a shame even more.
Every time you play a game where every time someone dies, you have to
Exactly.
I'm confused. This is also stupid of me, but Mr. A says that he's at Oktoberfest. Is that not in October?
No.
I never tell. We don't have that kind of thing over here, so I wouldn't know. I don't keep up with German traditions.
Yeah, I remember hearing about that recently and also being surprised that Oktoberfest is not in October. But it's not. Okay, I have to sleep, but I actually don't know how. The sleep icon is disabled. I can't sleep.
That sounds like me every day.
True.
I don't know how to sleep.
What's up with that? It might be that you need to be in a specific area to sleep.
What reason would you need to scold your Digimon? Is that in case of shit or something?
I'm not sure. Maybe that little guy up there being sleepy isn't even the sleeping icon. I would have assumed it would be like a sleepy speech bubble above my Digimon instead, after all.
Yeah, this is coming across as a little bit tedious of a game at the moment. You're not getting straight into action. You're literally trying to find somewhere to sleep.
Yeah.
And you look like a hobo as well. Your character looks like a hobo, so it's kind of fitting again.
Maybe it was social commentary all along.
This is going to wake up and just realize that it's just a homeless bum in the middle of New York streets, and
dreaming that he's a Digimon tamer.
yeah, drugs are a powerful thing.
True. Well, that's kind of meta because in a way, I'm like a total loser, escaping from his life by pretending to be training a Digimon too.
A Digimon called Meco.
Yes. Pretending I can take out my aggression on small caterpillar creatures.
Well, ordering me to beat them up.
Yeah, exactly.
You're gonna have some weird dreams tonight. Just me in a fucking Digimon costume, beating up Caterpillar.
Actually, it seems like you're having trouble with the caterpillar right now. He poisoned you. He keeps interrupting your attacks.
Oh, Jesus. I'm bailing.
How long does this fucking poison last for?
This is riveting gameplay. It's no wonder we've only got 2 viewers, both being us.
This is a very cheap strategy that this fucking caterpillar is using. He just poisoned you and is now running away.
I mean, if it works.
Yeah, that's what's the worst about it. But now I can do a finisher move. So that'll be really good, I'm sure.
You know what? You can tell that Caterpillar is a fucking Teemo player.
True. Well, it's a very Teemo-like sort of strategy. What we want in the end.
Don't know how to be shit.
He dropped various as well.
He dropped a floppy disk. For those Zoomers watching, floppy disks are an old piece of storage media we used to use back in the dial-up days.
Yes. And as I picked up the floppy disk, it said "whoa" at me. That's what happens in this game. The items say "whoa" when you pick them up. So this mushroom's gonna do the same thing. It's gonna be very surprised. That's why I'm in the forest right now. By the way, I have to forage for mushrooms because they give you meat every day. But oh, here we go. Oh wow, he's hungry and sleepy. You are very demanding right now, Meco.
That pretty much is me every day. So
true. Okay, well now I can make him sleep. We're just gonna sleep in the forest, I think. I'm sure that's fine. Oh, but that caused you to shit on the floor. That's unfortunate.
I like how the shit is actually in 3D. They've actually 3D modeled the shit. They haven't just made a sprite for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do remember the poop because I think I did scold it when it pooped. I don't remember. I don't
Yeah,
remember it very well. Though.
that makes sense as far as ways to use the scold. It's kind of bullshit that he wasn't showing the pooping mechanic and made me go to sleep, and then he shat on the floor when he woke up.
Harder than Dark Souls, man. You gotta learn. It's no tutorials.
Maybe if you sleep nearby the like toilet room. Hopefully I can get some more meat now. Okay, good. We didn't get very much meat this time though. Wow, this is hard. I think the training also makes him have to eat a lot. I want to keep training him, but he has to keep. It makes me eat too much when I have no food.
Oh, it makes
Resort to
sense.
foraging for mushrooms. Well, we have a care mistake now. We're not going to be getting Metal Garurumon. What a shame.
Well, time to restart then.
Yeah, exactly. Well, no, we just have to kill this Digimon off and try with a new one, I think.
Just let him die in his own shit.
That's why I'm doing the punching glove. I'm just going to have it keep punching him forever until he just dies.
We'll have a talk in the meantime while we're watching a Digimon get punched. Imagine like logging into the stream and just watching a helpless Digimon getting like punched repeatedly in the face
Yeah,
while
well,
we're talking about like communism or something.
Is that what you had in mind for your subject today? Is communism?
I know nothing of the subject, so no, I don't want to get. I try to avoid getting started on topics I have no idea about, unless it's in like Discord, and I'll just talk about anything.
Yeah.
It's easy on Discord because you can have Discord open on one screen and then have like a Wikipedia article open on the other, and then you can claim to know what you're talking about.
True. I'm at a disadvantage here if we're doing something like that because I have to play the game. Although I could probably just leave my Digimon getting punched and do it. Come to think of it. Yeah, let's do the running training because if our Digimon was faster, maybe that would have helped against the caterpillar. Wouldn't have been able to run away so much.
I'm impressed how he's managing to teleport to the other side so quickly.
Yeah. That is impressive. That's one of Gabumon's powers, actually, canonically. He can teleport. I think it's just like a really small world, and so he just like goes around the entire globe.
Yeah. He's already been through China, France, and now he's back here.
Yeah, Russia. He has to run through the war zone.
I'd love it if like every time he ran past he's got like a different like stereotype hat on
Oh, that'd be cool.
to represent the country.
Sombrero sometimes, and like the Chinese rice farmer hat.
Yeah.
And of course the Yushenka thing that Russians wear.
Yeah. The Royal Guard for when he's walked through the Royal Guard hat, whatever it's called, when
yeah.
he goes through the UK.
The Buckingham Palace Guard hats, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're just gonna be training for a while.
This is like I say, this is riveting. This is
Definitely, yes. This is a very high intensity game.
I can definitely see why people preferred this over Pokemon.
For every other Digimon game after this one, they kind of just made them traditional RPGs instead of pet simulator / RPG games like this one. Maybe it's because children did get bored sitting there watching their Digimon nod at a blackboard.
And shit everywhere.
You know, this is the type of game that's popular now. People like farming simulators, of course, and they play like games about unpacking your stuff when you move and just all kinds of silly shit.
Yeah.
Just that's what that this game was ahead of its time, I think, is the problem.
I feel like that's come along because like most of the newer generation just don't leave the house, so like they're not used to having to do things like that, like move houses and farm. Well, I mean it's not normal for the standard person to farm, but
Uh-huh.
you know, uh, you go to take a shit outside of your house, so
Yeah,
outside of the
exactly.
comfort of your home. Most people have like a seat with a potty attached. So
Shitting on an in and out house is definitely like an experience that the younger generation is missing out on nowadays, yes. I think that is part of it. I think in this sort of increasingly depressing uh, era for the youth, it is in some ways comforting just to be able to have a game about like being a productive member of society.
well, I found it surprising how Stardew Valley is like such a success because it's essentially just like old Harvest Moon.
Yeah,
Um,
with some extra
but it
features and shit, but yeah.
Yeah, and yet the actual developers of Harvest Moon haven't picked up on that and thought, yeah, we should probably stop watering down as games and maybe take a step back and following the roots of following the footsteps, sorry, of Stardew Valley, which is essentially just old Harvest Moon.
True.
But I actually learned this from watching a Yahtzee video, but apparently the company responsible for Harvest Moon kind of split into two groups because one wanted to go more of a sort of watered down route, and the other wanted to actually mix things up a bit. But I don't know if they share the same name or if they've, because I don't think they actually have the rights to the name, or if they've.
Yeah, I know that they sometimes call Harvest Moon games Story of Seasons now because the Harvest Moon title is copyrighted by someone else or something like that.
Yeah, that's right. And I don't know if it's the Story of Seasons is actually basically the good Harvest Moon.
I don't know, but well, they like made that remake of Friends of Mineral Town for Switch or whatever, which was called Story of Seasons. So
Yeah, I think the last Harvest Moon game I played though was the Game Boy Advance one.
yeah, I like the GameCube one, A Wonderful Life.
Yeah.
I did play the Wii one briefly when I was like 13 or something. I remember I thought the like woodcutter boy was kind of cute, but I was playing as a male character, so I couldn't romance him.
You should have complained, and that should have been a Twitter argument.
Well, I think for the Friends of Mineral Town one, they changed it so that at least the girls can get married to other girls.
Well, yeah, typical. Lesbian love's okay. Gay love, that's a step too far.
Maybe you can do it as a guy too. I'm not sure.
You just know that the next Persona game is going to give you a gay romance option.
Well, Persona 2 did.
Yeah, true, but the
Oh,
complaints that Persona 5 got just for that.
yeah. I would have liked to be able to date Ryuji.
I mean, I didn't really care either way because I was more focused. Obviously, I think the dating sim side of that game is not the most important thing to me, even though it is like a
Yeah,
core part of the game. And I agree with what Yahtzee said: is that there's so much to distract you in that game that you can't really pinpoint one particular main part of the game because it's a dating sim, it's a life sim, it's a JRPG. It's kind of like got a mix of things. But for me,
yeah.
I don't know. I'm not going to get into the persona, my love of persona, but the dating sim part wasn't like. I don't think it's like a necessity. Like you can play the game without having to date anybody in the game. So
Definitely, yeah. I think it's more interesting just to get to like social link level 10 with all the other characters rather than to actually move into dating them. If you know what I mean.
yeah. I think I think it's one of those games where I don't know where I'm going with this actually, but yeah, I appreciate it, and I think it's what really made like Persona 3 take off is that the fact that like obviously Persona 1 and 2 didn't really. Well, they had that, but it wasn't really. It was even less of a focus than what it was. And I think 3 really took it to the next level, and visual novel fans just absolutely adored it.
True. Still haven't played Persona 3. Maybe I will. I think weren't the first two ones also very like old school hardcore RPGs kind of where the encounter rate was really high and it was kind of hard and all that sort of stuff.
My issue with the first two, I enjoyed them, but I didn't find the story quite as interesting, and I also they felt that there wasn't much style. I mean, each one, 3, 4, and 5 have all got like a certain style to them and a certain atmosphere that you get from them.
Yeah.
Whereas 1 and 2 just kind of felt like typical Shin Megami Tensei kind of games, but with, I guess, a bit more of obviously the Persona twist to it. Whereas when 3 came about, it really added like you could tell that it became its own thing, did Persona, which is well, it's why after a time they dropped the name Shin Megami Tensei for Persona 5 because they kind of acknowledged the fact that it's not really part of the series anymore. It's its own thing, which I think is impressive, really, for it to actually because people forget how many spin-offs like or games within this Shin Megami Tensei series there are.
I heard that it was only in America that they ever had Shin Megami Tensei in the title of Persona games. Is that true, or am I misinformed?
Well, I've got European ones, and it's on those.
Oh,
So,
sure, yeah.
I'm looking at them now, in fact. But actually, let me have a look because I've got Persona 4. Persona 4 Gold actually doesn't. But Persona 4 on the PS2 does. But they removed it from Golden. So that's interesting. I did not know that until now, just looking at them.
Yeah.
So yeah, they must have dropped it then, I guess. But yeah, I've just got Persona 4 now, and it does say Shin Megami Tensei 4. So maybe it's just a Japanese thing that they didn't add it. I'm not too sure.
Yeah, I said only in America, but I kind of meant outside of Japan.
All right, okay. Yeah, America's the only country that matters. So.
Exactly. As a Canadian, I can say that without being too patriotic.
I've got Persona 3 Portable here, and that says Shin Megami Tensei. So.
What do you think is the best version of Persona 3?
Fez easy.
Oh yeah.
I think the worst is actually Persona 3 Portable. This is another reason why they've just, as you know, they're doing the re-release and includes Persona. Is it Persona 4 Golden, Persona 3 Portable, and Persona 5 Royal, or Royal even. And I hoped when I heard the rumor that they were going to do this, I hoped they wouldn't make Persona 3 Portable the standard, but they have, and it's really I do not understand the reason for that. I could only hope that either one of two things happened: either they removed the limitation issue that they had with the portable version, which was to use a cursor to navigate through towns and stuff.
Oh, I see.
Or somebody mods that in, like somehow rips the PS2 version and adds that in, because it's the Persona 3. The Persona 3 and Persona 3 Fairs and Persona 3 Portable, it's so bizarre to find what you consider the best version. For me, I'd say Fez, but Portable also added stuff like the female protagonist.
It was the only one where you could actually control your characters, right? Like besides the main character, or
Yeah, well, they added stuff like that. And Persona, this is what's really annoying is that Persona 3 Portable has some good things, like some good changes, like being able to switch your characters and they're not on auto attack. You can actually control them.
yeah.
And also, I guess for people who want to play a female protagonist, they've got that option. But because it was a PSP exclusive at the time, they've also had to make some cutbacks to make it work on the because they couldn't have it like the original where you move your character and outside of battle, and you kind of use a cursor and everything's like a 2D environment. It's kind of strange how they've got about it. You just move like a cursor and you click over. It's like a whole overhead view. You don't actually move the protagonist. You just like I said, you just sort of click on a character and they'll give you some dialogue. They did that because obviously they couldn't fit the entire game.
Yeah,
on
like the Wii
on the
version of
PS.
Sonic Unleashed was actually like that too, compared to the 360 version. Where some of the
I would have.
areas were just like menus instead of actual
Right.
levels.
Well, yeah. It sounds like that then, and I understand the reasoning for that. I don't, you know, I don't blame them for making those changes on the PSP. But then when I'm hearing that they're going to be porting it to modern consoles, I'm a bit like, well, why? It's kind
Yeah,
of like
that is a
the
little odd.
these consoles are more than capable of playing. Like Fez has like the added on content. It's kind of Fez is what Persona 5 Royal is, or
Yeah,
Golden.
yeah,
It's
Persona
like that
4
version.
Golden. Yeah.
It has like there's a few extra scenes in. There's a epilogue to the end of the game and stuff like that, which Persona 3 Portable doesn't have. And it's like I don't know. Again, I think Fez is the best version of that game. It's very bizarre that they've decided to go with the portable version. But whatever. I own all the versions, so if I want to play one, I'll just play it.
I think I only have Fez.
Oh yeah, Fez is well. At least you've got the better, in my opinion, anyway. The better version. I'm sure there's some people who would argue that portable's the best one because you play as a non-canon female protagonist.
And because you can control your party members in battle. That was the main reason my friend said that he likes it.
Yeah, I guess. But again, the game was okay through Free and Fez. We've just been able to, only been able to control the protagonist. They added,
It was designed based around that in any case.
but another thing that the Persona franchise suffers from is obviously. Oh, we've got a chat by the way.
Yeah,
Spider-Man.
that was a little while ago. Spider-Man says Digimon. Yes.
Oh, we've got 4 viewers as well. So welcome to anybody watching this. So I'm having a rant about Persona. Once
Yeah,
XF mentioned
I play Digimon very incompetently.
yes, we're watching him train a Digimon. So I'm just having a rant about something else in the meantime, just to fill the dead air.
Yeah, exactly. I was fighting some electrical Digimon, but I actually think I should probably level up more before I fight them because they kind of kicked my ass. I got through, but I had to use like all my healing items. It was dicey.
Yeah, sorry, I was going to make a point that the issue that Persona 5 has, despite it, I've always said it's the Persona game I would recommend to people if they're new to the series. But then as soon as you play that and everybody loves it, they're like, "Oh, well, I want to play 3 and 4 now." It's like I've seen this happen, and I know people who've done this, and they'll go back and play the other ones and go, "Oh, you can't do this in this game," or "Oh, this is missing," or the menus don't look as cool and stuff. And it's like, yeah, that's why it's kind of difficult. Like I went from I kind of well, my first one was Persona 3. That's what really got me into it. And I went back and played the first 2 and
Had
4
sort
and
of the
5.
same thing, yeah, with Persona 1 and 2 that.
Yeah. And but now you've got people because Persona 5 is easily the most successful in the franchise. You've got new fans coming in who were brought in because of Persona 5, going back and playing the 3 and 4 and being a bit disappointed, which kind of winds me up a little bit because I'm like, yeah, but you don't understand. Like, it's because it took these games to work so that Persona 5 could run. Do you get what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
and they're not bad games. They're just obviously when you've been spoiled by how good Persona 5 is and you go back and play these, you kind of think, oh, it's a bit of a downgrade, but it's not. It's different, I suppose that's one thing with Final Fantasy is that even to this day, you can play the new ones and you'll still say Final Fantasy VII is the best, or all the older ones are the best.
Definitely, yeah. I think that's partially just because new Final Fantasy isn't very good anymore.
Yeah, well,
But I guess
I don't have that.
It does also partially come from Final Fantasy. Each one is sort of more of its own unique thing, maybe especially than Dragon Quest, maybe a little bit more than Persona as well.
I guess, but then Persona also does a very similar thing where none of them are sequels. They're just like,
Yeah. They do kind of all have the same gameplay systems to them, though.
Yeah.
Whereas Final Fantasy VIII has like the junctioning and stuff, which is very unique compared to the rest of the franchise. Alright, I just got my ass kicked by Patamon. I didn't think he would, or Palmon, I think it was. I didn't think he'd fight me. I thought he'd just, like, come and be our friend at the town, but no. So that's not good. I think your Digimon only get, like, 3 chances, and if they lose 3 fights, they die. So that was one of our 3 fights that we can, 2 fights, really, that we can lose.
Really? This is a pretty hardcore game, though.
It is, yeah. It's a lot more stressful than Pokemon.
Yeah, just spending like the half of the game training your Pokemon just for them to die 3 times.
Exactly.
Sorry, Digimon. I keep calling them Pokemon. I'm sure there'll be some hardcore Digimon fan that hates that. Because didn't Digimon technically
probably.
come out before Pokemon, or am I?
I'm not sure.
You see, I heard this, and I had a debate with somebody, I can't remember who, about this, and I was under the belief that it was Pokemon first, and Digimon kind of like jumped on that bandwagon. But
That would have
then they
been
were like,
my
no, no.
guess, too, yeah.
But I think because of when it jumped on the bandwagon and it still stayed alive, it didn't just drop off. That people still like, there's like a cult following for Digimon.
Yeah, it survived a lot more. There was kind of a trend of both Pokemon and, like, Yu-Gi-Oh! Knockoffs throughout the 2000s. With things like Duel Masters, for example, or Battle Beat-em-on would be another one. And none of those franchises have really lasted, but Digimon at least has. And it's always kind of been more artistic than Pokemon. Like, even this game kind of is. And, the anime, especially the 3rd anime, Digimon Tamers, has, like, psychological themes and stuff to it. Whereas, of course, the anime of Pokemon is really just kind of, you know, Ash has very episodic adventures, and Team Rocket tries to steal Pikachu, and that's kind of his whole life.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean. It's always very, very simple, I guess, and very formulaic, kind of, too.
Yeah, that's probably why it didn't appeal to the kids very much. I do think the art style of I can't remember, it might just be Digimon World that I'm thinking of, but the art style for the anime for that looks pretty good.
Yeah. It is kind of cool. Sometimes people will compare, like, new Pokemon designs. They'll say they look more like a Digimon character.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's another thing about this game is when we lose fights, we also get robbed too. They'll take some of our stuff. So that guy took all our mushrooms.
I am 100% certain that this is just Hobo Simulator. Then you're getting mugged by other like hobos, and they're just taking all your shit. And yeah.
True. It all makes sense. It all adds up.
It's just you're playing a hobo. He's tripping on drugs, and
yeah, you started building a commune too. Like the Digimon you beat up come and like start to offer basic services because the commune that you have doesn't have any. So this guy is beholden onto our items for us.
He's just creating like a drug ring, basically.
Alright, I have to go to the bathroom 1 sec.
Be right back.
Alright, we're back.
Excellent.
I didn't want to transform into the shit Digimon, so I had to go and
yeah. Hey, what a coincidence. Spirit posted the Digimon GIF in AFT.
Wow. I like to think he's cheering us on. Just like I'm cheering on my Digimon while he runs laps.
That's his reaction. He's watching us now on stream.
So far, it is kind of like hard in that I'm surprised, even though I've been doing some training, that my Digimon can't do very well at all in fights. It seems like you're.
Yeah, I tell you, this is the Dark Souls of Pokemon games.
It is, yeah. I never was any good at it as a kid.
Now, I might be getting this mixed up. Was it you, or am I getting you mixed up with Oni, that you played Final Fantasy VII and there was a certain scene that made you really depressed and you stopped playing the game for a while?
That was somebody else.
Okay, yeah, Oni NG. Yeah, you've heard of him before. Yeah.
Hmm.
Who just only plays. How can you mix two things? I was thinking about Final Fantasy VII just then, just when you went on your break, and I was thinking, was it him? I think Oni said that like he got to a certain part of it, like when mid. I can't remember which part he's talking about now. Is it when mid guy like gets destroyed or something? And he said that like that made him really sad, and he stopped playing it for a while.
Interesting.
He wanted to complete it, and he stopped for a bit after that, and it made him cry. And I got mixed up with you for some reason, thinking like, because I remember you saying you playing it when you were young. So I think you both must have been around a similar age when you first played that game and just stopped playing it.
Yeah. I do remember the part where Cloud is like in a wheelchair, like he's comatose from the Meco poisoning. That part had a big impact on me as a kid. Because I think I'd named him after myself. There's something weird about that experience of seeing, a
That is
heroic character brought to such a low point, I guess.
that's fucking hilarious. Imagine naming Cloud after yourself, and then he's going through all that shit, and you're just like, oh, this could be me. I could be Cloud right now.
Yes. It made me aware of my mortality or something like that.
Yeah, that's fucking hilarious. I did that when I was younger. Like I used to name like when I played Final Fantasy, I used to name the characters after myself. And
Mm.
but as I got older and I replayed them, I was like, no, I don't like I don't want to be called. I don't want him to say Brett, so and so. And
Yeah. I also stopped doing it. I only use my own name if it's a game like Pokemon where the main character doesn't have any like name to use,
yeah, otherwise, I mean, we said before that the reason why obviously Square dropped that idea was
The
after what I
voice
think it was
acting
10.
issue, yeah.
Yeah. Referring to you as they and them.
Yeah, new guy and stuff like that. No, Titus. I found out that Waka and Kimari were both voiced by John Dimaggio in the English version.
I knew that. That was a. You can tell. I mean, you listen to Waka, it just sounds like
Yeah, Bender,
Jake.
basically the
Yeah,
exact
yeah.
same voice.
I've honestly, I'm being haunted by John DiMaggio because I watched something recently. It was that Mystic Quest, the comedy series.
Yeah, I think I remember
Um,
that.
yeah, and he's got like a small role in that. And then we watched Better Call Saul. He's got a part in that, but we watched him like one after the other, and I was like, what the fuck? He's everywhere.
He has had a
He's
lot of
full.
roles lately, I guess. Was Futurama sort of his big break? Like, was that when he started to get
I think
recognizable?
that's what's his. Yeah, I think that's. I think he always did voice acting before that, but I think that was like his big role, which he's mostly recognized for. Because everybody always says, everybody goes, "That's the guy who voiced Bender." They don't say like,
Yeah.
"Oh, that's Waka from."
Final Fantasy X. No. Well, he doesn't quite. He has the Bender voice as more characters than he does the Waka voice.
We've got a chat from Nitro Twit who says, you can cancel the training early and still get the same XP.
I did not know that, no.
Yes, well, XDev's an expert at this, so I'm just watching him, and he's told me this is what's necessary. So
Uh...
also we have 7 viewers.
Yeah,
Hello, everybody.
people love Digimon World.
I think they came to listen to my rant about Persona. I told you
Oh,
this is
true.
why I should. And we've got a wave from Shadow 2021. Hello. You won't be able to see me wave, but I am waving at my computer screen.
I think that's the first time we've had a 1-year-old person as a viewer, so that's a new milestone. Really cool to see.
It's impressive. The new generation is incredible. They're already playing
Yeah,
video games at the age of 1.
they get, they're just so, like, fluent in technology.
I that's no word of a lie. When I went to trade my games in today, there was a kid like he looked no older than like 7, 8, and it was like his mother was buying him a new phone, and he's like talking to her about the specs. And I'm like, what the hell? Like when I was that age, I was just like, obviously like we didn't have smartphones back then, but because I'm ancient, by the way.
Yeah, we're boomers. This is a boomer stream.
Yeah, this is a boomer stream, but it's just baffling. And then he was talking about like what streamers he watches and
Yeah.
YouTube channels he subscribes to. It's like it's such a difference in generations. I mean, it's like I had dial-up, so there was no streaming back then. Shadow 2021 says, "Lol, I've had this handle for years. I'm in my 30s." Oh, okay. So
What made you pick the name Shadow 2021?
I know what the answer you're wanting here. It's his favorite Sonic character, obviously.
Yeah, the Shadow part, that's fine, but what about the, 2021 part? Where'd that come from?
When 2021 he was. Oh yeah, Shadow from Final Fantasy VI and 2021. I have no clue.
Oh, cool. We've been streaming Final Fantasy VI on this stream too.
Yes, it's well, both. I'd say it's a very. We both agree it's like one of the best Final Fantasies. So.
Yeah. I've been really enjoying replaying it. I haven't played it. It had been like a decade or something since I played it.
Well, actually, you've got something in common there. XDF. That's after Final Fantasy.
True.
From 5, is it? My brains.
Yeah. Final Fantasy V.
Nitro Twit says, "I have no idea where my name came from. I was 12 and now I'm 28." So we've got boomers in the chat with us. We're not the only old ones here. It's my birthday today. I've just turned 31, so I feel old.
Yeah, he feels really old. That's why we don't normally stream together, but I'm consoling him, sort of. He needed emotional support, so we put this together.
Not that we dislike each other. It's just we're both in very different time zones. I'm sure you can tell with how I don't have a Canadian accent.
Yeah.
I don't have these guys stream ridiculous for me ridiculous hours in the morning, so I don't have the time to log it in. I do when I've got days off, which is obviously it's a weekend. I can make some time.
You stream at what would be like year 3 in the morning, I think.
Nitro Twit says, "Happy birthday." Thank you. You're probably the third person to wish me happy birthday today because nobody remembers, and I think that just comes with age. And Shadow 2021 says, "Canadians in the house." Oh, see, you have a lot in common here. Are you sure this isn't your?
True. It's my alt account. Yeah.
Yeah, you're just logged in with a different account here. There's too many coincidences. It's a name based on a Final Fantasy game.
Yeah, we're both 1 year old.
Yeah, both 1 year old. Yeah, and you're both Canadian. I mean, you might as well be neighbours.
Here we are. Who knows?
So yeah.
I should be able to pick these things up, but I can't.
Nitro Twit says, "What part of England are you from?" Well, I'm from up north, which is why I don't sound like the Queen or Harry Potter, which is what most, anybody outside of the UK seems to think that we all talk like that, and we all, that we talk about the Queen and Harry Potter all the time. Oh, we can't talk about the Queen anymore, obviously, as you know. I'm from up north, like Yorkshire to be specific.
Next time there's like a sports event, they'll sing "God Save the King" instead of "God Save the Queen."
Yeah, they've already started doing that now.
Yeah.
It's whatever. I don't know if I'll get banned by Twitch for saying this because I have no idea about the Twitch rules, but I'm not fond of the particular family. Oh no, I can already hear the police knocking on my door. It's forbidden. But yes, it is sad that our Queen has passed. But we'll live to die another day.
Nitro Twit is by Brighton, he says.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
And Shadow's in Alberta, it sounds like.
And he also says, "Oh, don't be so posh." Oh yeah. What did you say? You said Burton. Did you say XD?
Did I?
It says Brighton.
I don't know how to say English things. I'm sorry.
Brighton. Yes, I think we've drove past there. I've never visited it myself. Obviously, I'm very aware of Brighton. I always assume everybody who's I don't know why, but obviously I always assume everybody who chats on here is just like in some area of America, especially at this time. Because obviously all those Europeans are like we're in this a similar time zone. So
Yeah, I'm a little bit surprised we have a Englishman and a Canadian here. I would have expected it. Well, I'm surprised, first of all, that anyone's commenting on our stream. That's not the usual situation.
it's because I'm here and it's my birthday, and I think that's what happens. This is why I need to get involved more.
Maybe it's because we're streaming in the afternoon instead of the
Yes, that's yeah, that's probably a main factor as well. Yes. But I mean, Mr. A's working. You're not, so.
Yeah, Mr. A's a wife.
Yeah, Mr. A has his rich wife to look after him and bottle feed him. So.
Give him his allowance. Yeah, that's the thing. He doesn't get very much allowance if he doesn't hang out with her throughout the day. So we have to stream at night. That's the big problem.
I haven't seen this game in ages, and I was looking for random things to watch. Yes, that's one thing about Twitch is I get really bored when I've been browsing just off the off chance to, see if anybody's playing anything different than just playing League of Legends or Fortnite. It always is kind of interesting to see somebody just playing
Digimon World, yeah.
Digimon World, but that was the point of our stream is that we play a lot of I say I'll say XDef and our other host, we go by Mr. A. I don't want to say his name on stream. We like to play retro games or something a little bit obscure because it's too overpopulated with just the same games, same I don't know. There's only so many GTA role-playing streams you can watch before you realize they're all kind of the same. But
we are doing something that's a bit more of a YouTube thing, just playing old games and trying to analyze them, I guess.
Yes, we usually go on tangents about any facts that we've come up with. Usually it's the co-host who does that, but in this case that'll be me, and I don't know anything about Digimon. So
yeah, the whole point of the Digimon game was just to be able to play a game that's without I just had it for the rainy day game is what I had it written down. Meco ever came along to me and said, "Let's stream a game today." I'd be like, "All right, Digimon."
Yes, I wanted to do something special for my birthday, so yeah, I just had to sit at my desk and watch XDev play a video game.
Yeah, exactly. You can tell we both have very happy lives.
Shadow says, "Have you played this game before?" I haven't. No, sorry, I tell a lie. I said earlier in the stream I've played about. I was very young when I played this, and I played about an hour of it. I don't remember it very well. The main key point I do remember is that the monsters take a shit. XDef does remember it more fondly. He said he was saying earlier his dad used to play this.
My dad got this game for me as a kid. Yeah, I played it a bit, and I was really, really bad at it. I never understood how to play at all, which is still the case, of course.
Yeah, I was gonna say. So it's kind of just reliving that now. And
yeah, nothing's changed.
We're now up to 8 viewers. You see, this is what I mean. I just need to join you more.
Digimon is what the people want. I think that's what it is.
No. Let me have the credit for this. It's my birthday.
Okay, fair enough. Yes. And I did title it birthday stream. Maybe I should just call every stream the birthday stream to get more views.
Nitro says doesn't get any better as an adult playing this game. Well.
That's what I remember about it as a kid, is that I just really didn't get it. I really didn't understand what was going on.
Shadow says, I remember little. I just know you need to go around looking for a non-generic Digimon and recruit them to build up your town to start.
Yeah, like the Palmon that kicked my ass. If I had beaten her, she would have joined the town. But I lost.
Spider-Man says, what the fuck? How has this little dog fuck not evolved yet?
I think he's close. I think it's supposed to be like 3 days, and we're approaching that point. Okay, let's give him some HP. Looks like he needs defense. I'm trying to keep him with balanced stats. I don't really know the strategy very well. I'm sure there are some better stats than others.
Yeah, I mean, as I say, this is what you're here for, guys. The most riveting gameplay you will see on Twitch today.
Yeah, this is also the most like expert gameplay that you'll probably ever see on Digimon World.
Spider-Man says, "Clutch 1% phone plugin."
Nice. Probably in part the reason he hasn't evolved yet is probably because I kept playing the entire fucking training animation as long as it would go.
Yeah, I mean, so far we've had him being punched by an oversized boxing glove, him watching you tap the same board at the same place over and over again.
Yeah, him running around the world.
Spider-Man says, "I'm going to look hard. When I come back from the groceries, I expect to see a metal Greymon."
Sadly, I had him. He went to bed, and then when he woke up, he shit on the floor. So we've already lost our Metal Greymon possibility.
Yeah, that's. I think we should restart and fix that. But,
yeah, we're gonna kill Meco here.
Yes, he named it after me as well, in my honor.
Yeah, just because it was your birthday. I would have named him something else if it wasn't your birthday, but...
And he also wants to kill it 3 times, just as he does in real life. So.
Yeah, it wouldn't be enough fun to just kill you once.
And Natro says, "I think I'll wait for your Digimon to evolve to poop and then dip." Oh, that's fine. It's been... thanks for coming along, and feel free to... I mean, how often do you guys stream again? Is it Thursdays and...
Tuesdays and Thursdays usually.
Tuesdays and Thursdays,
at like 10:30 at night in Canadian time.
And if you're into watching old school video games, which if you're a guy in your 30s, you'll remember some of them. Then I'm sure we'll have plenty to see. As I say, I don't really have time to join a lot of them, or I'm asleep by that time, because unlike my fellow co-host here, I actually have a job. Sorry, no digs. But yeah, it's always entertaining, and you can always look back at the older streams and that as well. Because Mr. A is a little bit more. You two have got more of a connection, a bit more of a
more chemistry, and perhaps
yeah, more chemistry. Yeah,
we built more of it over the increased amount of time, is what it is. Yes, that's the truly top quality streams, the ones you get on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Not this Digimon shit. Oh, something's happening here. This might be our Digivolution. Yep, alright, here's the moment of truth. Let's see what he turns into. Let's see him turn into poop.
Here we go!
Oh. Alright, we got Rhino Digimon. Cool.
What the fuck is that?
This is Monochromon.
Okay.
He has Spitfire as his move.
So it's been 1 hour and 23 minutes, and I've been watching you punch the shit out of this poor Digimon to see him turn into a rhino.
Exactly, yeah. This is the high defense Digimon after all. I'm not gonna be able to have enough food to feed this rhino. I can barely feed my Gabumon.
Barely feed yourself.
Also true. Here, let's try him out. Let's see how he does against this guy.
He's going to die. He'll die, and then it'll just be a waste of time.
Oh, you actually can breathe fire, which is a ranged attack. That's good. That's handy. Yeah, breathe fire on him. Keeps blocking my fire breath. Yeah, he does seem to be a bit better in a fight than he used to be. That's
Say
good.
those are some high numbers.
Yeah, definitely.
Shadow says, "Get that Palamon. I think he works in the farm."
Yeah, I was thinking about fighting him now that I've evolved. Get my revenge. First, I'm gonna go to the nap guy and heal up.
He's way too big for that house.
It kind of, I'm not sure if he actually does, but it does feel like he goes slower now. I guess it doesn't really matter because it's only where your boy walks that determines what happens. I like he makes like a big earth shaking sound effect every time he takes a step, though. That's really cool.
Nitro says, "See you later, guys. I'm going to head off for the night."
Right.
Yes, thank you again for joining the stream. It means a lot.
Yeah. Thank you for supporting and growing Twitch channel.
Yes, we'll soon have 10 viewers. We're almost there.
I'm planning on making this a career, so you know.
Please support X if he needs it.
Yes. But I can remember where Palmon was. No, not here.
So this way the game starts getting interesting now then, because I don't know how much more I can see about a defenseless Digimon getting his ass beat by a fucking oversized boxing glove.
Okay. Oh yeah, now he's gonna kind of take his revenge upon the world, I think, now that he's a rhino.
Oh, excellent. I love revenge stories.
Yeah, this could almost be a Korean film.
Exactly. It just needs like a really sad ending, like depressing ending, like the Digimon just kills himself.
Well, he will inevitably get to old age and die as part of the game.
Oh, right, okay.
Wow, he absolutely destroyed that Digimon. That was ridiculous. The other one didn't even have a chance. Oh, now he's hungry. Good thing we got a lot of mushrooms.
Well, I don't know about finding wild mushrooms and feeding it to him, but
Seems to work. Rhinos are herbivores, aren't they? Oh well, he has to eat a lot of mushrooms, though. Holy fuck. Can't believe how many mushrooms he's eating.
I mean, you're feeding it. I don't think like I wouldn't consider mushrooms to be the most filling of foods you could feed to anybody, really. If
True.
someone just gave me a single mushroom and I was starving, I'd be a bit like, "Are you all like, having a laugh?"
You having a go?
I mean, only Mario himself would be satisfied with that, but I
True.
don't think many others will.
He grows exponentially just from eating one mushroom.
That's something you could do to garner the viewers is a speedrun of Mario World. That seems to be like the go-to.
Yeah. I don't think I have a very competitive speedrun Mario World speedrun time though.
Why not do the opposite? A new niche, the Mario slow run. So
Oh wow.
you gotta walk everywhere, and you've got to take the absolute piss of completing it. I
That,
give that a shot.
that's what we did with Code Veronica.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Did you get around to completing that then, you guys?
Yeah. It was like
Oh,
nine hours or something, and Mr. A got like the lowest possible rank.
brilliant. Isn't that for like saving continuously and healing a lot as well?
Probably. Yeah, I don't really know much about the ranking system personally.
I think it is. I think if you save too often, it really screws up your score.
It sounds like Resident Evil for you. Mr. A is very obsessive about his saving. With Silent Hill 2, he made like a different save for every single save point in the game.
Yeah, I used to be that person, and then I just, I was just like, no, I'll just have the single save. I can't keep up with all these. Actually, I did it with The Witcher 3. I checked back on it the other day, and I had like so many different. But I saved them in the wrong order. So usually you're supposed to have like. I like to have my most recent at the top, and then like work down or something like that. But they were all over the place, and I had to load into like 10 different ones before I found the one that was actually the up-to-date one.
Yeah. Can be a nightmare when you're going back to them. I sometimes will do a couple, and it depends a bit on the game. Like on like Fallout 2, I'd use like 10 saves, because that game fucks you over every second it gets a chance.
I think for me it was like because with The Witcher, I was like, I hope when you got like the decisions that you have to make, I was like, in case I've made the wrong one, I want to go back and change that.
Yeah, with RPGs, that's a good. It makes sense to have at least more than one save on Western RPGs. I don't know.
Oh,
Like,
it went for the RPG element. I was just like, do I want to fuck Yennefer or do I want to,
oh, I see. That makes sense. Yeah.
which obviously, I went for the former, but those are the hard decisions you have to make. But the other one's just fine. Do you want to kill so and so? Yeah, sure. And, just get it over and done with.
That makes perfect sense to me.
So what do you? I know you've got like this hatred for a game you haven't played, but what do you think about this resurgence of Cyberpunk as of late?
The anime, I don't know.
Well, the anime causing everybody to now say that Cyberpunk was misunderstood.
Oh, really? Did I think that? To
Yeah,
me, it
I mean,
looks like it is. It would have been mid even if it wasn't for all the technical problems with it. Like just because the actual game itself just doesn't look very interesting or unique. So I don't know.
Shadow says in the water area, talk to the shadow in the water if you're there again.
Oh, the beach. Okay,
No, water area.
I
I
want
don't
to
know.
talk to this guy. I was afraid he'd like gank me if I just fought him. I'll give him some mushrooms, I guess.
Yeah, you're definitely playing a drug dealer here. You can't convince me otherwise. You're going around giving mushrooms to everything that you come across, and
True.
you look like a hobo. So
Yeah, the beanie definitely sells that.
we have 9 viewers. Come on, guys, let's make it to 10. We've reached a milestone.
Finally, double-digit viewers for our birthday stream here.
It's taking up like half the screen.
It's true. This battle arena is very tight.
And you had to use a finish on him as well. Come on, like, is he not suffering enough?
I don't know. I'm not really doing that good a job killing this guy. He keeps blocking my fireballs and stuff. We almost got him. Alright, there we go.
Well, I was going to say, as somebody who's actually played Cyberpunk, yeah, I am honestly surprised it's still relevant today, but whatever.
Yeah. Well, the anime could very well be good. It's
Oh,
made by Studio Triggers, which I have some trust in.
Yeah, I was going to say like the production on it looks really good. Like it definitely looks like my style of something, something I'd watch. Even if I didn't realize it was related to Cyberpunk, I'd be like, oh, I love the art style and the theme. I love Cyberpunk settings, which is what really attracted me to the game in the first place. Like, I'm a huge fan of the Akira Ghost in the Shell type, Neo Tokyo type vibe and stuff.
Yeah, I like the Japanese Cyberpunk more. I find like Final Fantasy VII at the start, like in Midgar, also has a little bit of that. Going.
Cyberpunk's fine. It's one of those. It's just I think fine is the perfect way to describe that game for me. And I know some people really like overdo it and sort of say, oh, it's misunderstood or it was shit. It's one or the other. They go from one side like saying it's like the worst game ever to, which I don't think it is. It definitely had a hell of a lot of issues on launch, like unbearable like amount of issues. But if they fixed it, good on them, I guess. They kind of had to, because they sold and advertised a broken game. I kind of have to laugh at these people though that are kind of saying, "Oh, it misunderstood," and everybody who says it had a bad launch was kind of over exaggerating. No.
Yeah.
Anybody who says that has not played the game. Anybody who says it was over exaggerated has not played the game. I played it on launch. I was like one of those, there watching my Steam downloads, on the exact launch hour and stuff. And no, it was bad, but the story was fine. Keanu Reeves' acting is awful as always, but it did its job.
At least
Shadows. Yeah, well, yeah, his character wasn't bad. His voice acting is like subpar, I guess, but the character himself was okay. Shadow says, if you hit up the city now, Palmon should have grown your farm a lot.
Yeah, that's one of the things I'm gonna prioritize next. I also kind of want to buy stuff from the vending machine.
Other game has vending machines? Persona.
Cyberpunk.
Oh, well, I actually don't know. Possibly?
Doesn't have a talking vending machine for one of the side quests?
Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah, how did I forget?
I remember in Persona 4 I did the thing where it was like, it was one of those vending machines and you can get like a thunderball out of it or something, and I got like a consumable item for a battle, and then that like used them my whole day, and I felt very betrayed. It was kind of like the Shenmue vending machine things, that type of vending machine.
No way is it that bad. Nobody. Shenmue is such a game where it's like, when you first played it and you use the vending machine, you're like, oh my god, it's like real life. Like he's actually putting the coin in and waiting for it to drop, and then you do it for the second time, you're like, yeah, this is absolutely pointless.
I feel like that was like most of the appeal of Shenmue, was just shit like that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to get into a huge Shenmue rant again, but I still appreciate what it tried to do at the very least, and no other game at its time had gone to those lengths of trying to at least take in innovative steps with video games. Like, it was the first kind of big detailed open world, I guess you could call it. Like, you could go into most places, knock on every door you wanted to, and talk to people, like literally everybody, even though they all gave you the same answer and just told you with really bad voice acting to get away from them. Which I always find kind of amusing, because in the first game, they're all supposed to know Ryu very well. He's from a very well-respected like family and stuff. So it was
Yeah,
always kind of funny to have like like him talk to people and just go, "Get away from me, you creep."
it is just a funny game. Okay. But I agree with you. It was actually somewhat like, I guess more technology wise. It was a significant game in the history of video games.
Yeah, absolutely. Obviously it's aged like shit, and I would not
Yeah.
recommend it to anybody these days. I would not say, oh yeah, you should definitely. And Shenmue 3 was a huge disappointment as somebody who has been looking forward to that game since how long has it been now? Like when did I think Shenmue 2 came out in like 2003? So
Yeah, back on the original Xbox anyway.
well, yeah, but I mean, I played it on the
Oh
Dreamcast
shit.
originally. And then yeah, it was awful. But Yu Suzuki, the director, just hasn't learned to evolve. So I don't know. He still thinks people want to play that type of. I don't understand how a director who
Oh,
his whole vision in the beginning was to, do something new, is somehow still stuck in the past years later.
yeah.
What's up? Can you not? Are you trying to feed him floppy disks now?
I was trying to heal him. I thought I had a healing item, but it actually restored MP. Oh, there we go. But we'll just win this one and then avoid fighting for a while.
Back to training.
Yeah. We have more meat now, so we can take the food lost to get him trained up some more.
So do you think you'll now that the new Zelda game is not technically called Breath of the Wild 2, do you think you'll play it? Now it's called Tears of the Queen or whatever.
Tears
Oh,
of the
yeah.
Kingdom. Yeah, I'll get it eventually. Provided I'm not like homeless on the street at the time it comes out.
Well, that's the thing. You'll be in a predicament where you have to make an ultimatum. Do you buy the new Zelda game or do you pay your rent for the night? It's like which one? And you'll
Yeah.
go for the
I'll go
Zelda
for
game
Zelda, yeah.
and just become a Zelda streamer, and that's how you earn your money.
Oh wow, that does make sense. All my fate will turn around from Zelda Tears of the Kingdom.
I hear the stereotype that there's some parts of Canada that are so nice that people just leave the door open. Why don't you just try and, walk into one of those doors one day and live in their house?
That's a good idea. I was thinking maybe I'd like go on Grindr and like find a guy to adopt me.
Well, yeah, you could take that approach again. You could put in your bio like, streamer with an average of 5 viewers, one in brackets, one being me.
Yes, streamer, please sponsor me. I'll pay you. I'll give you a blowjob. I think that
You
would work
cry.
really well.
If I log back in one day and I find out that TNP is sponsored by Grindr.
I think that's kind of what it was always like fated to be.
That'd just be incredible. I mean, I can't complain, but I dread to think what the Twitch chat's going to be like. Let's see.
Well, just twink loving gay guys.
They only want to watch if you are playing. So if me and Mr. A play, we're gonna have a riot on our hands.
True.
Bring back X-Def. Bring back our Canadian twink.
Sure, you're not really too much of a twink yourself, are you?
No, I'm a big. For anybody watching, I'm like nearly 7 foot, big, ripped. I got an 8-pack.
Yeah, giant dick.
This is totally real, everybody. No, I'm average height, so I'm not complaining. Unlike you, I don't know how tall you are actually. You're like, I imagine you're about 5 foot. Like, judging on your pictures, I imagine you're about 5 foot.
I think I'm like 5'10" or something.
Oh, so you're a tiny bit smaller than me.
Yeah, I'm not super short or anything.
Oh yeah, and you actually do look, even though despite the deceiving voice, you do look about 12. So
Yeah, definitely. I'm like the picture of a twink.
yeah, you Google twink and it's just a picture of you.
Yeah,
First image.
it shows me streaming.
From yeah, someone's taken the picture in your basement. It's like, Mom.
Yeah, my mom sold pictures of me to Wikipedia.
To make up for the missed rent.
Yeah, exactly. The Wikipedia page for Twink, they needed a good picture. My mom sold one of my photographs to them.
Yeah. I did that to a friend. Not the Wikipedia part, but we set up. My friend was drunk, and we took a picture of him, like when he was like wasted, and we set up a Grindr profile for him. He's like really straight, like he's there's no. I don't want to say he's like homophobic, but he's very sort of like, oh, I don't understand it. I'll accept it, but that type of person.
Yeah, like so straight that even jokes about like him getting up to any type of gay shit makes him uncomfortable. Like that's almost that sort of deal.
Yeah, and so we set this Grindr profile, and we're on his phone because he always left it like with a really easy password, it was like 1234 or something.
Yeah.
And we left it. We completely forgot about it. Me and my friend, we completely forgot about it. And then the next day, he wakes us up because we're stopping at a hotel, and he's like, "Guys," he says, "I don't know what the hell I did last night." He says, "But somehow." I'm getting all these like messages from guys like saying, "Do you want to meet up? You're apparently you're near my area or something."
It's really funny.
And yeah, that was it. It was like a really sort of like unattractive photo of him, but we had like 10 people messaging him saying, asking if he wanted to meet up, and it was like late hours at night, and he was asleep at this point. So when he woke up, he had like 10 incoming messages saying like hello, question mark, are you still there, and stuff like that.
Yeah, they do that. Yeah, guys don't tend to be too picky, so even if it's a bad photo, you can still.
I'm not gonna say my friend's unattractive, but he's not exactly a stud by any means. So it was very surprising.
It does. There are slightly different standards, I guess, for like gay guys versus straight guys. Like the stereotypical twink. I think gay boys like them a lot more than straight girls do, for example.
But we don't want to go all Andrew Tate now and start like saying like, that's just what women, women only want like a.
No, that's true. There are many different tastes, of course, in this world. Some gay guys only like bears,
Barra bears.
Yeah. Some like small children.
Okay, let's move on from this. We've lost a viewer now. Well done.
I'm not saying I approve of that, just that it is a thing.
I'll be right back. I just need to use the restroom.
Okay. don't really know what you're supposed to do when they get these sweat bubbles on them.
But I noticed we gained a viewer, so he must have said something good. Made up for the comment you made earlier.
I was just silently training my Digimon. Because I think that's what people really want to see.
Yeah, I think our friend Shadow here is guiding you on how to play the game, because clearly he knows more than you.
Doesn't take much. I think we're gonna do some exploring now. We've trained our Digimon very sufficiently. I'm hoping that resting at Gigimon's house helps him deal with the fatigue thing.
Yes, my now housemate is very drunk, so I do apologise if you're anything.
So far, I haven't.
Okay, well, that's good. It's how we cope in Britain, you see.
Through
If
alcohol.
all goes to shit, yeah, through alcohol.
Which has
The
happened
Queen
since
died.
since the Queen died, the whole country's kind of just fallen apart, right?
Well, on the plus side, we do have a bank holiday Monday, so we don't have to go into work. But I already had the week booked off, so we've gotten the entire of next week off. So that's good.
That does sound nice. Yeah, the Prime Minister wanted to have like a holiday here in Canada for the Queen. Just
See,
I
don't understand it. I do not understand why the like America and Canada has to give a shit. I mean, isn't the point of,
Well, we're
how
still
these...
technically like a monarchy under the same crown.
Oh yeah, maybe Canada, but America, I really don't understand. But whatever.
Yeah, America, they like forcibly broke off, so I don't get why they did. Why they would care.
Scotland's fucking laughing, and they're only a little bit further up. So.
Scotland and Ireland, I've heard, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we've been seeing a lot of on the news feed over here. People getting a bit annoyed with the way that Scotland's reacting to all this, but I don't care. Again, I've got my own views on it. I don't know how much I could get away with saying, but it's whatever to me. It always has been. I've never. I suppose. I've grown up just never with a family that never really cared either way, so it's just like rubbed off on me. But whatever. It is really kind of annoying to see people using it as an excuse for things these days, like closing up shop to say, "Oh, we're doing it for the Queen." It's like, you're a fucking convenience store. Why are you closing? You know what I mean? Like, it's just an excuse to get a day off work.
Yeah.
That is literally what happened. A couple of people at my work took the day off because they said they were upset by the Queen. These people I know full well did not give a shit about the Queen, but are now using it as a plausible excuse to get a day off work.
Makes sense. I don't
That's
really
the kind of
blame
thing
them.
Would you take a day off work if your Prime Minister died?
No. If anything, we might take a day off work to celebrate.
Is he really that bad? I thought he was like considered good.
I think he's fine. Probably. It kind of depends on who you ask.
Is it because he's good looking? Is that why?
I think that helped. Plus, he's the son of a previous prime minister that some people liked. I guess a relatively well-respected previous prime minister.
I think it was the old certain face paint that he used that really kind of ruined him.
Yeah, that earned the respect of many Canadians, I think. Yeah, he loves his costumes.
Yeah. A simple, honest mistake.
Definitely, yeah. It was a different time, that's what it is. Those things were more acceptable back then.
Yeah, in Canada.
Yeah, we're very libertine sort of culture.
I think I speaking of like cultures, I think I offended Raim earlier.
Oh no.
I said I'll try and word this differently because we're streaming. I said, would you class yourself as Spanish or Mexican? And he said, well, technically I'd have to class myself as the latter. And I said something along the words of, "Oh, that's a shame." I didn't mean it like that. I meant because the reason I worded it that way is because I was talking, I was having a debate with somebody else trying to figure out what ethnicity technically would be, or like what he'd consider himself as. I meant what a shame, as in, oh, I guessed it wrong. It came off as though I was saying, oh, what a shame.
Yeah, that you're Mexican and not Spanish.
Yeah, I assumed that it was because I'm very ignorant to, obviously, like, he's from Honduras, so I'm very ignorant to certain countries, like in terms of where they're located.
Yeah.
I know the basic ones, but some like that, I'm a bit like,
That's a small country, yeah. I wouldn't be able to place it. Like, I know it's in Central America, but if you showed me, like, a map of Central America with all the little countries on there and asked me to place which one was Honduras, I'd probably get it wrong.
Exactly. Well, that was my point. I just assumed it was in my head for some reason. I've never looked the country up. I assumed it was near Spain or something.
Oh.
That's how ignorant I am. Yeah, and I don't think it was like. Well, I don't think I offended him, but it was because what Raym's like. He kind of like
He's
just
got a bit
takes
of a
things.
sense of national pride to him, yeah.
But I didn't mean it as like, what a shame you're Mexican. I meant it as, what a shame my guess was wrong, basically.
Sure.
But yeah, so I learned something new today that I don't know. Well, it's not something new. I always knew I don't know countries very well. I mean, if it's anywhere outside of the UK, I have no clue.
Fair enough. So the countries that you know where they are England, Wales, and Scotland, basically, and Ireland.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, exactly. Anything outside of that is just America. It's just yeah, it's somewhere near America. And
Yeah.
France. We know France very well.
Yeah, that's fair. I did pretty well. There's like a test you can take online where you have to like it gives you the name of a country in Europe and you have to place it on the map. But I did quite well. But that's because I play like Europa Universalis 4 and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
and they say video games don't teach kids anything.
Exactly.
That's a question for you. Do you feel like you've ever learned any sort of life skills through video games?
Probably not life skills, no. Just stuff like that, like those games teaching geography.
So it's like games now where it's like coding games and stuff that actually teach you proper code, and you have to, know some sort of code to like. I saw it on Steam the other day. There was like a game where you had to hack into something, but they used like very similar. It's a made-up language, but it's very similar like coding experience to hack into things, and it's to kind of like introduce people into like how coding works. And I thought stuff like that's like, yeah, but it plays out like a proper video game, and I thought that was really interesting.
It does sound interesting.
Some people, like, I read some of the review. I mean, I didn't buy it myself. I was just looked at curiosity. But some of the reviews are saying like, as a programmer, it's a really good gateway into like teaching kids how to, like what comes with coding, and like it's not, it's just like baby steps into understanding it and stuff. And sometimes you can spend like hours on the first level just to get through, and and then once you've picked up the first level, then the next levels become easier and stuff like that. And I thought that was very interesting for a video game concept.
Yeah. That is interesting. I guess you'd be better off probably just like studying a real language the normal way, but
Yeah, true. But when you give someone an assignment and just say learn how to code, they're gonna find that as as like.
yeah.
But if you feed it to them as a video game, and video games are appealing, then I guess it could be a gateway into that.
Can make it easier to focus on it or something.
Yeah, exactly. And then if they treat like coding as a video game, you never know. Especially kids. You know what I mean? Like kids will just jump on anything.
Yeah. I wonder if actually I think I do remember. I was gonna say I wonder if there's ever been a game that like did that with a language. Like you have to start like half of the game is in French or something, and you have to start learning French to be able to understand the puzzles or something. And I do know there was a DS game that was about like a kid. I think a kid like gets accidentally dropped off in Mexico or something, and he has to like try to speak Spanish to get his way out.
Yep. can think at the top of my head that does something similar to that is that Kingdom Come Deliverance or something, where you look at writing in
Oh,
the
yeah.
game and it's all like gibberish
Scrambled up, yeah.
and yeah, and then as you learn English, it starts amending itself.
Yeah, that's kind of just your character learning the language, right? Like,
I get what you mean. That'd be interesting if a game did that, where you can like visit certain regions of it, and they're speaking a different language, and there's no subtitles. You have to just. Oh, actually, I mean, technically that'd be like Stalker, because I know that I struggled with that game because I'd sit by a bonfire, or you know, I don't know if that's the right word, and everybody was speaking Russian or Ukrainian. That's how ignorant I was to the language, by the way.
yeah.
And I didn't understand. There's no subtitles unless you install mods. And I spoke to Mr. A about it, and he said he could understand it. So he had a different experience because it was interesting to him to understand the native language, compared to people who play that and just sit next to him and just wonder what the hell everybody's talking about.
Yeah. I guess it was Russian then, because he speaks Russian, Mr. A. Although,
All right.
you might be able to understand some Ukrainian if you know Russian too, kind of like Portuguese and Spanish.
Yeah, yeah. Maybe that's what you need to work on. You want to make a video game, so make a video game where you start off. I mean, you're Canadian, you understand French, so.
I can do okay with written French. Yeah. For me, I just need to like get the self-discipline to sit down and make a game. That's my problem.
See, I could have been good at French because that is, as you may know, in the UK, that is like a language that's like a default kind of language that they can teach in high school.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why it is over in the UK. I think it's just like it was between that or Spanish, so they just chose French. And I did okay, but I feel like I've just because I didn't routinely practice it. I don't remember it very well. I know the obvious like Je m'appelle Brett,
Yeah.
you know, stuff like that, but I don't remember. I could not have a conversation with somebody speaking French. Let's put it that way.
I probably couldn't either. I can like read a book in French and kind of know the words, but I think it's kind of one of those cases where like if I see the word, I can remember what it means, but if I have to like come up with the word on my own, I can't really do it. You know?
Yeah. Well, I self-taught myself some Japanese when I was a teenager, like in college, obviously because I was a huge weeb back then.
Yeah.
And I could actually understand like certain. If you understand like what the characters mean, you can kind of work it out from there a little bit. Because like for example, my name in AFT at the moment, Vampire, obviously means vampire. But if that was written in kanji, you wouldn't know what the fuck it means.
Yeah.
And stuff like that was, you know, basic words like that were pretty easy to
Oh.
pick up on. What the hell's going on here?
I'm getting harassed by goblins. I ran away from them and I walked into the area and they fought me again. They did some weird confusion status effect on my guy, so that's what I was afraid of mostly.
It looks like you're kind of getting your ass handed. Oh no, maybe not.
No,
See, I've got a bit of a delay on my stream, so I'm.
My Rhino is fairly powerful at this point compared to a lot of the Digimon in this area. No, he's attacking the wrong guy. Uh-oh. He like nearly killed one goblin and then left him. This isn't good. Okay, good that he blocked that. It's a very intense fight.
So do you think you'll? I think I've asked this before, but do you think you'll play the new Final Fantasy, or did you even play 15 at this point?
I haven't played 15, but not because I don't want to necessarily. I just kind of haven't like, you know, when I'm going and buying games, something else catches my eye instead of Final Fantasy.
Yeah, I mean, you can pick it up for bargain bin prices.
Now, yeah, probably.
20. Jesus, it'd be much cheaper than that. We find it over
Yeah.
here for like, you know, change for the bus. Do you know what I mean? So,
Oh, sure, cool.
it's
I've never heard
It's
anybody say that they think it's a masterpiece or anything like that.
it's a I don't know. It's one of those where when I first played it, I was like, I could appreciate certain things that they were trying to do, but I don't think I'll ever play it again.
Yeah.
Which is bad for a Final Fantasy game because I've played like every one again at some point or another. But 15 is just not that game I think I'll ever play again. It was just so boring and there was nothing to it. No memorable characters. I guess like Ignis is my favorite in that out of a bunch of bad characters. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. You don't like Noctis? He's a good twink.
The thing is, Noctis is that Tetsuya Nomura's version of Noctis was interesting because he was like the anti-hero type character. He was meant to be like a rebellious prince.
Okay.
And then when they handed it over to the new team, they kind of just made him a bit of a pussy boy.
Yeah. And then he's
and
like the
that really,
trust fund kid who complains about his lot in life, even still, right? That's how a lot of people describe him.
it's so bizarre because like Tetsuya Nomura's version of him, which I know, I mean, I really don't, give any props to Nomura as a director, but I
No.
agreed with his vision of the original idea for Noctis is that obviously he finds out his kingdom's being taken over and he just goes on like a full fucking rampage and just kills. He's got, he's not whining and complaining. He just fucking goes on with it and takes back his kingdom. And then like this new version of him is just like he comes off as just this rich boy whining about obviously his dad gets killed and sorry spoilers for anybody. His dad gets killed and then he's just like there's a particular scene where they're on this train and it really made me realize that they just don't know how to portray these emotions very well, like of him grieving over his dad, and he's just like suddenly there's no like progression. He just suddenly just becomes flippant and starts like laughing at everybody, and it comes out of nowhere, and it doesn't really, there's not like a slow decline of him like coming to the realization that he's losing everything. It's just more like he has one moment of like grievance, and then after that moment is back to normal again, and it's like like how Cloud is, for example, where you can slowly watch him deteriorate, like he's starting to realize that his life might have been a lie and everything
Sure.
up until this point is bullshit and stuff. But there's none of that with Noctis. It's just like one moment of, oh, my dad's dead and my future wife's dead, and then that's like for one scene, and then after that he's back to normal again and he's cracking jokes, and it's just like like
That's weird.
yeah. It seems like his supporting characters are the more interesting ones, but even they're not great. Ignis is the reason why Ignis gets considered the best character is because he's kind of the only one holding the team together, whereas the rest of them are just kind of very, I don't know, like you've got Prompto is
kind of.
yeah, Prompto looks like your type of character. He's a bit of a twink character.
Yeah.
He's very just sort of like he's very typical Final Fantasy kind of like, hey guys, let's team up, and very corny. And then you've got your
The cheerful
Barra.
one of the team, I guess.
Yeah, like it doesn't matter if we're in the shit.
Yeah. JRPG thing.
And then you've got Ignis, who's not Ignis, sorry, Gladius, who's very sort of just your typical like Barra. Comes off. He's a strong man, but he's still got his insecurities about I don't know, where he's worried that his masculinity might be seen as a facade. I don't know.
Okay. Sure. No, I don't really like Final Fantasy X. I think I kind of have the same issue where there just aren't really any very charming characters in that game to me.
Yeah. The more I think about that, I think Auron's probably the only character I liked out of that, really.
Yeah. That's kind of how I felt. Auron was okay, and then the rest of them, I'm not so sure about.
Yeah, Riku's a nobody. She's just like a teeth.
Yeah, she comes off as
like
kind of bland to me, I guess. I don't know.
Yuna's pretty bland. Luna, same.
Titus is kind of annoying, I feel.
Well, you should love him. He's voiced by Ratchet.
Ratchet, yeah. Maybe that's the problem. Maybe I need to replay it now that I played Ratchet and Clank, and I'll fall in love with Titus.
So bad that it's just that meme that's like tied to that game now. Is just that laugh because it was just so So strange.
Yeah, it is supposed to sound like faked laughter, but even still.
Yeah, I get that with the scene, but it's just the way that the unfortunately the script handles it. It doesn't come off very well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I enjoyed 10, but I understand the complaints, but I still enjoyed it. I enjoyed it more than 15, and I think it does get too much flack sometimes. I've heard complaints about like the just little things like the battle system, which I personally didn't have an issue with.
I like the battle
Um,
system.
Yeah, people didn't like the fact that you can see who's coming, whose turn it is next, and I didn't mind it. I thought it was fine.
You can see whose turn's next. There's a big display for that.
No, that's what I'm saying. Is people didn't like that. They liked the
Oh, okay.
unpredictability type of thing, where it was like old school, where you kind of just had to think. You didn't have it all.
I see.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of which, Tactics Ogre is getting a remaster for, I think it's PC, PS4, and Switch or something.
Yes, Tactics Ogre Reborn.
Yes, I'm excited for that.
I never have finished it on any of the other versions. It feels a bit grindy to me, but I will probably try the remaster.
I love Akihiko Yoshida's work, so I will likely buy it anyway.
Yeah.
He is, I think he's one of the best character designers for the franchise, but now he just works on other games. Although I only discovered that I am so behind. Right? I only realized the other day that he did the character design for Nier Automata, which really surprised me. I didn't know that until recently because I was looking through his. I was reading some stuff up about him, and they said his last hit, Nier Automata, and I was like, hold on a second, and then it all of a sudden hit me. I was like, oh yeah, if you look at the concept art, you can clearly tell it's his artwork. It looks like Final Fantasy XII type, or tactics type artwork. Yeah, I love his art style. He's incredible. I'd say I personally think I prefer his art style to Nomura, but that's just because I find Nomura's art style to just be a bit sort of like samey, spiky hair.
Yeah. Lots of belts. Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess I like Yoshitaka Amano the most out of Final Fantasy character artists, but his art is kind of weird.
Yeah, I understand that. Yeah, I mean, yeah, maybe. I mean, they're all really good artists.
Yeah.
Nomura, I really, Nomura's got such a unique style that you can spot it a mile off. But there's no. If you put 3 character designs in front of me, you'd be able to spot out Nomura's instantly. I just get a bit bored of his style after a while. Like it's, once you've seen a few, you've seen them all. It's like, the way that he's designed Sora and the way that he's designed Cloud and the way that he's designed, it's always like this. You can tell it's him.
I think that's true.
I mean, I guess you could say the same for Yoshida, but I feel like he's got more of a with how he's designed like the Nier characters and how he's designed the 12 characters. I think they look very different.
I agree with that. Nier in Final Fantasy XII, it's not like that immediately obvious that those both have the same character designer.
But the fact that it took me a while to realize that until recently.
Oh my gosh. Every time I try to progress the game, my Digimon needs to shit and I have to leave and go back to the toilet.
Yeah, this game, I'm not going to lie to you, it looks extremely tedious.
It is somewhat tedious, yeah.
I guess it's appropriate. We can fill the time up talking about completely irrelevant subjects.
I think that is... Sometimes it's good to have a stream like that, yeah. You don't have to focus on the game. Oh, no. We didn't make it. That is a huge fucking...
Whoa, that's bigger than your character.
Unfortunate. He barely warned me.
So I got, you might have seen that picture I sent you. I got the Junji Ito's art book.
Oh yeah.
That's incredible. I mean, he's another artist I really I love. I'll have to somehow get all the images to show you, but some of the stuff in there is incredible.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I haven't really read very much of his work, but although I should. I read the Enigma of whatever it is Fault recently. This is my hole it was made for me story. Because
Yeah.
we were doing Silent Hill 2, which took some inspiration from Junji Ito's art as well.
Oh yeah, it is very influential. Like, yeah, I've always, I know you're not into tattoos, but I've always wanted to like design like my dream would be for him to like design a tattoo for me specifically, but before he dies.
Sure, that'd be cool.
But I think a lot of that comes from stuff like Silent Hill. I've always loved that kind of like weird, macabre sort of like art style.
Yeah, definitely. There's something more captivating, but that's even sometimes the case with Yoshitaka Amano's artwork. It looks almost like ghostly sometimes.
Oh, his artwork's phenomenal. I tell you what makes it great with Amano is that it's got a very traditional Japanese, you know, like the what would you call it? The Edo like period art style. It's got like obviously influences from that, but with his own twist on it. What do you call it now? The Tokugawa sort of era.
I don't know enough about Japanese art history to be able to say, but
Sorry, I'm being a weeb again. That's my weeb side coming out. We have a lot of that in the household at the moment, like you know, that kind of art style thing, and I've got a full sleeve of that art style. So that's what I'll do for you the next step. I'll send you over a Amano art book, and then that'll be my. I'll time it perfectly for when you. When's your birthday again?
July 16th.
Why is everybody's in July? I was talking to
Just
somebody else, and theirs was in July, and my best friend's is in July as well.
maybe people have sex a lot towards like the winter months.
It's cold, so you need to warm your body up.
Yeah, there's not much to do because you're stuck inside because of the cold.
Like, oh, let's make an XDF.
Yeah, exactly.
Especially in Canada. Yeah. Yeah, I'll get one of those and get one of those sent over to you.
Alright, sounds good. I'd appreciate it.
You can rip the pages out and use it as a blanket when you're out on the street. You'll definitely get a lot of attention when you put your bucket out for change.
Yeah. I'm sure.
Oh, I didn't realize this. I was just out of curiosity looking at Amano's work, and I did not realize he helped with Vampire Hunter D.
Yes, that's right.
Oh, that is interesting. Oh yeah, I just looked at the artwork for it. It's very him. Oh, you watched a film of his recently, I think.
Angel's Egg, yeah.
Yeah, and you really liked it judging by your
I did,
review.
yeah. I thought it was really cool. It's very, I guess, like, obscure. Like, it probably doesn't mean anything. It's kind of random shit, but I thought it was really cool.
Here's something that's going to suck. So Amano is 70 years old. He's done all the Japanese logo covers. There's going to become a point when that's not the case.
True.
That's sad. They'll get to Final Fantasy 20, and he might not even be there.
Yeah.
Oh no, I knew the hell's going to take over. I do not want Tetsuya Nomura fucking logo.
That's who it's gonna be. Tetsuya Nomura. Just know it. Eventually, Final Fantasy is just gonna be like a one-man indie series where Tetsuya Nomura just does everything.
I think it's going to be Yoshi P, depending on how well 16 goes.
Okay.
I think it's becoming obvious that Square want Nomura to focus on the Kingdom Hearts series
Kingdom
because
Hearts,
it's and like stuff like that, like that Neo World Ends With You, sorry. Like that, they seem to be gravitating towards him focusing on things like that rather than Final Fantasy. I don't know, which is a shame because I don't think Nomura's directed any Final Fantasy games, apart from the remake, but it's not really an original title.
That's
So
true. He's been a big part of basically every Final Fantasy game. Well, also Stranger in Paradise he directed, if you count that, but definitely not like a numbered Final Fantasy, apart from 7 Remake.
I didn't realize that. I thought that was just all Team Ninja.
Yeah, he wrote and directed Stranger in Paradise.
Oh, that is something I've learnt today. It might explain why it didn't do too well.
Yeah. Well, the story, like, kind of bears some of the hallmarks of his shitty fucking writing style.
That's not what I'm reading. I'm gonna have to correct you. Directors do
Okay.
not mention Nomura. He was the artist, obviously, and the producer, but he
What about
didn't direct.
the writing team? Was he on that?
No.
Interesting.
It's the writer was the same guy responsible for well, he mainly does scenario writing for all the Final Fantasies. Well, from 7.
Okay.
So yeah. Actually, he's one of the main writers. How did he fuck up so much then? So the main writer for 7 is one of the main writers for Stranger of Paradise.
That's funny. Definitely not his best work then.
Yeah. Well, people drop off, don't they? And they give
They
up.
can.
It's like who do you call it? Yoshinori. Fuck me, I'm remembering all these Japanese names. Himself, who is obviously directed 7, 8, and 10, and then I think after that he kind of just did not direct any other since then.
Yeah.
I think he directed 10. I'm pretty sure he did. Could be wrong. Let me check. Yes, he did. He directed that, and then after that, he's mainly just as a producer and a special thanks guy, which I don't know why anybody gets credited for special thanks, but
Yeah, usually it would be for like if they provided emotional support to the developers while they were making the game.
maybe.
Good advice or something.
Final Fantasy 13, the director worked on Final Fantasy 10-2. Oh yeah, of course, I already knew that because the battle system's very reminiscent.
Yeah, that one makes sense.
And then he went on to make. Wait. Oh yeah, of course. I thought it said 12-2 then. It's 13-2. I was like 12-2.
Maybe it'll come
Yeah,
out
it
one
is.
of these days. Final Fantasy 12 too.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me.
Well, there's Final
yes.
Fantasy 12 Revenant Wings for the DS. That was sort
Well,
of like Final Fantasy
actually,
12 too.
I heard a rumor a while ago that they were talking about making a 10-3.
Oh wow. Cool.
So that'd be something. I mean, let's relive a game that this generation won't even know exists.
Yeah. I think most people didn't really like Final Fantasy X too, even if they liked the first one.
So is anything interesting happening in this game that we're playing around rather than talking about that?
I'm completely lost. I have no idea where I'm supposed to go to do anything at this point.
Maybe if I shout loud enough, this guy will hear Shadow 2021. Help! You've been giving us advice up until this point, and now we don't know what to do.
I think
This stream will die.
I think we lost him.
Yeah, I think because we didn't give him the Digimon that he wanted, he's not interested anymore.
Yeah, I think he wanted the shit Digimon. We got the Rhino.
So as far as it goes with the television series of Digimon, we had Digimon Adventure, which
Yeah, that was
started in
the
1990.
classic. That's with Ty and everyone.
Yeah, that went on for 54 episodes, and the last one, or the latest, came out for 2021, which is Digimon Ghost Game. I mean, the art style looks really good, but I mean, I don't know anything about Digimon.
I only know about the old series because I'm a boomer. Shadow says, I heard my name. Yes, we have no... We're lost. We seek your expertise. What I do next after I've got Palmon and Caterpillar guy.
Well, at least we know somebody's still listening to our rants, at least. Or at least my rants. As soon as I start talking about Final Fantasy or Persona. Oh, Rames decided to wish me happy birthday, and technically in my country, it is not technically, we're on the 18th.
Your
so.
birthday, yeah. Fucking late. By the way, he wants to be referred to as Null on the streams now.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. Null. Rames is of a username that he doesn't use anymore.
You dead named Null.
Yeah. Such a ironic username.
Yeah, it's because he has Null personality, like I said on a previous
0. Yeah, Shadow. Please assist XDef on what to do next. You seem to be the expert, and he's clearly has no idea.
I'm very consciously not the expert.
If you have any idea, obviously you don't need to guide our stream that we have clearly not pre-planned for.
No, I could look it up if I really need to. I'm just kind of wandering around the different areas until...
It says beach.
Okay. I'll go to the beach. Try to find the beach.
Beach, talk to Shadow.
Alright.
I hope it's Shadow the Hedgehog.
I put Shadow from Final Fantasy VI. It's my favorite Shadow.
I thought Sonic Shadow was your favorite.
It is.
Make your mind up.
I accidentally pressed scold. That wasn't very good.
You're only saying that Shadow's your favorite because our #1 fan, Shadow 2021.
Yeah, I was trying to...
You don't need to kiss ass. I'm sure, he's been listening up until this point. So.
I'm more of a Gao fan when it comes to Final Fantasy VI characters.
Did you complete 6 then recently, or are you still not?
I replayed it on my own, but on the stream we're still in the first half of the game.
Yes, anybody that says Final Fantasy VI is their favorite, you know that they are an elitist Final Fantasy player.
That is the elitist opinion, yeah.
Yeah, anybody who's a newbie, like a newcomer to the series, will say 7 remake especially. The majority, the mainstream fans will say 7. The elitists will say 6. Super elitists will say 4. And then anybody who has no idea will say 15 or 12 or something, or 13. Although I still think, is that the Shadow? Or that's a log, isn't it?
Can't see a Shadow here. Maybe
you need to be there during the day, he says.
Uh-oh. Unfortunate. Alright, well, at least I know where it is relative to the rest of the game now, so we'll come back during the day and look for the Shadow.
Oh, come on, we need to catch up to... Twitch is telling me that Hasanabe is on 26k, so we need to be on those levels. What are we doing with 5 viewers?
Okay, we have to talk about Jordan Peterson, I think.
Oh, so you've been catching up on Hasanabe yourself?
I just guessed, because all the fucking political commentators won't shut up about Jordan Peterson nowadays. Ooh, I found a blue apple.
Oh no, I think the new hot topic is about Black Mermaid.
Oh, yeah, classic.
Which I mean, personally, for me, I don't see the issue. I mean, I don't care. Yes, it is maybe Disney pandering, but it isn't worth talking about.
Yeah, I think it's better to keep them the same hair color and skin color and everything as they originally were, but I don't really give that much of a shit if they decide to change it. And the bigger
Yeah,
issue is that it's actually just another shitty, soulless, cash grab remake of a classic Disney movie rather than the the character being painted
I
black.
don't care the skin color. I really don't care. I don't care about the live actions enough to care. But
Mhm.
anybody that says it's not scientifically accurate is like, dude, it's a fucking mermaid.
That's a dog shit argument, that's for sure.
It doesn't matter whether it's black, white, fucking grey. You know, it's a mermaid. They don't exist. I'm sorry to say. So
We were talking about how they when they blackwash characters for some reason they always pick the gingers because
uh,
Starfire from
uh,
Teen Titans also got blackwashed for the new show. So wonder why.
uh,
Are you
I
are you sad
I
about
don't.
like the lack of ginger representation as a British person?
No, I mean, the only ginger representation we need over here is Prince Harry. So you know, we
Oh,
don't care.
fair enough. Yeah.
Because I'm watching two of these Digimon streams at the same time. What is there? Someone else streaming Digimon? Really?
Damn, I thought we had cornered a unique niche. We're the only Digimon players on stream, but well, somebody might be streaming a different Digimon game.
Oh, I'm gonna check now. Yes, there is. There's somebody else. It's got two viewers, so we're winning. We're winning in viewers.
I wonder if the other player actually knows how to play the game.
Yeah, it's probably a lot further than us, but oh, okay, that's weird. I've just clicked on a stream and my icon's a hammer. I
Real
can smash your screen.
interesting. Maybe that's some kind of Twitch incentive thingy you can do. Maybe it's like a hype train or something.
I, it's from Portugal, I think, because
Oh, okay. Portuguese people love smashing things with hammers. That's what I've heard.
I think his stream is a bit funnier than ours though, because he's actually doing funny stuff, whereas we're just kind of like talking about irrelevant games that are not related to Digimon in any way.
Sure, that's not that funny. What do you
We
mean
need to
by
be
he's
more
doing
funny.
funny stuff?
Well, he's like making his Digimon do like weird noises and shit,
Oh, okay.
whereas we're just kind of like complaining about ginger people being
Yeah, ginger erasure.
a bit of a contrast.
That's funny though. I say both streams are funny in their own way. They're
He
special
made
though.
his Agumon really angry. Well,
Oh,
yeah, that's what we need to do then.
I want to make our Digimon angry. I want to be nice to him.
Yeah, we are animal rights activists.
Yeah, yeah. That's why I'm sticking up for gingers because of my concerns for animal rights.
I'm not. I'm not. I'm not sure how we're going to evolve as a channel if we're already started with the political correctness. Right?
Oh no, you're right. Now we have nowhere else to go. No way forward.
Yeah, this is when you get desperate. We should just become a political stream and just have.
Oh my god, yeah.
That's
That'd be
literally
awesome.
what Destiny does. The streamer, he just plays like Factorio and just talks about political issues.
Yep.
Apart from he knows what he's talking about, and we don't.
Does he?
Well,
Probably knows more what he's talking about than we do.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, it was originally a StarCraft streamer or something, and then StarCraft Pro player or something.
Oh, well, I didn't know. I didn't know about the Destiny lore. I just know that he debated like Sargon of Akkad one time. Was it him who did the JonTron one too? I think that's right.
Yeah, that's where JonTron really got cancelled, is because he went on a Destiny
Yeah.
stream. Which, so in my opinion, JonTron were a fucking idiot. But
Sure.
I don't agree with anything that JonTron was saying. But I don't.
I don't
I
think
think
I even watched it.
I think. I did, and I think that Destiny was loving the shit they were saying because it was obviously getting interaction.
Mhm.
But I also think the shit that JonTron was coming out with was ridiculous. I had an argument recently about. I'm not going to go into it. Don't worry. But I had an argument recently with somebody about Japan and how weebs view not weebs in general, but people. There's a lot of like, how do I put it? People who seem to view that the way that Japan treats their people as like that's how all Western culture should do it, and I just disagree.
I doubt
But,
that.
yeah, exactly.
Hands
Shadow
down.
says I play StarCraft 2 as well. 2. I haven't played any StarCraft game. I was more of a Command and Conquer person.
I played StarCraft 2, but I'm not expert on it or anything.
I was tempted to play StarCraft 3 recently because it's free to play apparently.
StarCraft 3?
Oh no, StarCraft 2. Yeah, sorry, my brain's. It is StarCraft. I'm sorry, I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. I'll get in my Command and Conquers mixed up. I was tempted to play StarCraft 2 recently because it's gone free to play, is what I meant to say. I think I got the 3 and the 3 parts mixed up, I think. Sorry, I'm giving false hope here. I know that Blizzard are working on a StarCraft 3, you see, so.
Oh, wow. Your game industry friends leaked it, just like they leaked Dead Island or whatever.
How did you know it did Island?
Was it Dead Island?
Yeah, how did you guess?
You told me.
Did you?
Yeah.
All right, yeah. Somebody that I know, I can't obviously give names out because they might end up losing the job. But I knew about when it was going to get shown like months ago, because a friend of mine knows a friend of mine, who knows a friend of mine, and I found out through that. And I said to XDev, I know about a certain game that's coming out, and he kept saying Half-Life 3 or something.
Yeah, I was guessing it was Half-Life 3. Well, Dead Island is not, to me, is not a very exciting announcement for making a new Dead Island.
Well, yeah, but to some people out there it is.
True. Some people are classic Dead Island fans. They love it. I've never met anybody like that, but I'm sure some exist.
Well, I own both of them, Dead Island and Riptide, but they are both very bad games. So, give me one moment.
Sure. use the bathroom too, actually. Alright, we're back.
We are. Okay, I'm back and Xdiff's back. You went to take a shit, didn't you?
Yeah, the icon was up above my head, so I had to do it.
Oh yeah, of course. So I saw you went to. Oh, Spider-Man says, "I are back. Nice, welcome back."
Nice to have you back. We made 0 progress.
Yes, we've. I mean, yeah, it's kind of a disaster stream, really, but you know, we're just accepting our losses.
Yeah, we're making the most of it.
It's still great to have two active viewers because usually, you see, the thing is, when Xdef and Mr. A play, nobody watches because they're so boring that they need me. Yeah.
Absolutely.
They might have the chemistry, but they don't have the charisma, which is what I bring to the table. You see. So
Yeah, totally.
nobody. I mean, can you name any Yorkshire streamers? Don't think so.
True. Just like how Ginger are underrepresented in media, Yorkshire men are underrepresented in streaming.
So there you go. There you go. So Spider-Man says, "Well, I have eggs, so that's pretty cool. That is pretty cool. Yes. I wish I had eggs. I guess. I'm not sure.
I wish you a merry egg, miss." I don't really like eggs personally. I only like them in like cakes.
You like them when they just don't taste anything like eggs anymore.
Yes, that's my favorite form of eggs. Eggs and fish are 2 things I can't eat.
You won't do well in Japan then.
Very true. That's why I'm not planning a vacation there.
People who don't like eggs just don't know how to cook eggs, is what Spider-Man says.
Not me. They could be cooked masterfully and I still wouldn't like them.
Do you think this Spider-Man could actually just be Tom Holland, like, watching it?
I hope so.
Spider-Man, just tell me, are you Tom Holland? If so, Xdiff wants your number. Shadow says the other streamer got the proper evolution for this Agumon.
He got Greymon.
Yeah, and the conditions are strict if you want the proper evolution.
Yeah.
And Spider-Man says, "I am not," in response to whether or not it's Tom Holland.
Sad.
So, well, I'm afraid we're gonna have to ban you from the stream.
Yeah, this is actually a Tom Holland only stream. Only us and Tom Holland are allowed. I'm
joking. We haven't. We don't get enough viewership to ban anybody. We don't even ban the bots when they're advertising. When they're advertising their OnlyFans accounts.
Well, that's because I'm planning to advertise my OnlyFans account, so it would be hypocritical.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. So if anybody wants to watch Xdiff's OnlyFans,
it's about equally as good as my Digimon skills. So.
Listen, we've all got to pay rent somehow, okay?
Yeah, that's what I tell myself when I'm trying to sleep at night.
There's only so many feet pics that you can upload before you reach the bandwidth limit.
Yeah, not too many of mine are feet, I'll tell you that.
And Spider-Man says, "Happy birthday, thank you." Yes, well, technically,
you're a little late. Yeah.
Yeah, where I am, it's technically the day after, but it's only by an hour, so I'll let you off. It's not too bad.
Yeah. We appreciate the birthday wishes. He got dumped recently, so he's very sad.
Oh, can you please not mention this on stream, please? It's very heartbreaking.
Sorry, I didn't mean to embarrass you.
Yes, I'm going through a very grief. That's why I'm here. I do this when I'm at my lowest. I only stream when I'm at my lowest.
Yeah,
so.
I'm trying to catch Meco on the rebound, basically, is what's going on here. I'm talking about my OnlyFans account, try and get him a little bit worked up.
Shadow says, "Get wrecked."
Yeah. We can beat the.
We need a text to speech thing at the moment because we don't get that many messages. I think it'd be quite funny.
We could have that.
And we can put it as Yass's voice.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Just listening to Yatsu saying, "Get wrecked." I can't do a Yatsu impression. I'm not from his end of the UK.
He's from the Midlands, apparently.
Yeah. I can tell. Yeah, that's what we need. Or Eminem. The Eminem one's like great as well.
That one's pretty good. Yeah, that's a classic one.
Because everybody uses the same. You know what I hate, that the AI voice is the TikTok one. That one I cannot stand. You know the woman one that they always use.
Yeah, the, like
It's always
generic
it's like really cheery, and it's just like, look what I did on Saturday. It's like, oh my fucking.
There's no topping the Yahtzee text to speech, really.
Yeah, because him and Critical have the best ones because they have a monotone voice anyway, so you don't need to like emphasize certain words because that's how they talk anyway. Like Critical's is just like, yeah, I went to the shop the other day and
Yeah.
I think it's really like it's just like that's just literally how he sounds anyway. Were you impressed by my impression then? That's what
Yeah,
it
I thought it was pretty good.
So yeah, that's all, guys. I guess I'll see you later. Say something like that at the end of his streams. Anyway.
That was just something I wanted to talk about.
Yeah, it's something I really want to talk about today. It's been on my mind a lot. It's incredible. I remember Critical from like the GameSpot days, like when he was just like a streamer just playing video games and like Battlefield and stuff. Now he's just blowing up all of a sudden out of nowhere. I mean, good on him. I watch him, regularly. I think he's a good streamer.
He's come a long way, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But Twitch is a weird one because apparently everybody's moving over to YouTube at the moment. So maybe it's time we did the same.
I've seen some people transition over to streaming on YouTube, yeah. I've seen the right place. Well, I do think this thing TMP is maybe more suited to YouTube rather than Twitch.
Yeah, but I don't know how we're going to handle all the videos that we've uploaded because
it is a problem. Yeah, the backlog.
Yeah, we've got an absolutely fucking massive backlog that's like a year old now.
We should probably just like upload the unedited streams. I think I was gonna actually propose that we make a like 2 channels, like a TMP channel and then a TMP VODs channel or whatever, where we just put the VODs on. Then
like a best of factory, so we just like cut certain parts out where we're just talking about something music. Cause
yeah,
you know, honestly, like I've been through some of the videos, and there's some parts that are just there's some parts that make good for like a best of thing because you're talking about really funny stuff, and I think they'd be better suited rather than the like dead air or where you're just talking about stuff that's not really interesting. No offense, but I mean, we all do it. Like we just ran on about something else.
Yeah,
I think some things would be interesting, like when there's funny moments that happen in the game and stuff like that. I'd make well for a like a best of type thing, just to shorten it down. But for each game, do you know what I mean? Like for best of Resident Evil, best of so and so, and just make it like a single, like an hour episode or something like that.
Yeah, something like that would be the main channel. And then if we ever do the TMP discuss things, we put them up on the main channel too, and then the VOD channel we just have all the unedited VODs.
Because we've got so many on the backlog.
Yeah, that would be the thing. So we can just put them straight on there without having to do any sort of treatment of them, because I keep delaying that so much. I keep procrastinating so much on that.
Shadow says, what surprised me is when I found out Twitch streamer is a 50-50 payout. Oh, yeah. That doesn't surprise me. And there's a follow-up with Spider-Man that says, what surprised me is the smell of this fart. I swear it could kill a goldfish.
Yes, charming.
Thank you for that. Is that the eggs that's causing that? Because eggy farts. I think that comment alone just sums up the stream. That a fart is more interesting than what's going on right now.
True. I was thinking about either calling it or switching games because I cannot figure out what to do in Digimon.
Yeah, I
Really
did not
get
see
tired
that
of it.
fucking shadow. I feel like Shadow's lying to us. I don't see no shadow in the water. I think this
I've
is
gone
just
there on multiple different times of day and haven't seen the shadow, so either I'm doing something very wrong or he's pranking me. Yes. There was also the cave area. The NPCs in the cave area told me to like wait, and they'd come back, and they'd dig. I think what it is actually is that you have to wait a certain number of in-game days. So I might check back up on it.
it says drill tunnel. Then
Yeah,
is that the cave?
yeah,
Drill tunnel.
that's what I was talking about. It
God,
didn't
yeah.
seem like I
Streaming
could.
on me is so bad that you have to switch game.
Yeah, there was another stupid game I was thinking of playing, which is Teen Titans for the Game Boy Advance.
Here we go. Is this a tunnel? Drill tunnel. There we
Yeah.
go. Let's see what's in here then.
Well, I went here earlier on, and it didn't seem like I could go any further, but I fought one Digimon, and they told me they'd start drilling, and then the other one told me to like come back later. So we'll check up and see if it's progressed since then. Because my presumption, although I could be wrong, is that it's like a certain number of in-game days. Spider-Man's asks that's a game. Yeah, there's a Game Boy one, and there's a like GameCube and PS2 one of Teen Titans.
But is it better than Arkham Knights? No. Or whatever
Probably
it's called.
not. No.
Gotham Knights. Sorry.
They-
I think it's called that.
You mean like the latest Batman Arkham game?
I don't know.
Oh shit.
It says my daughter watches that show.
Teen
Well,
Titans. Well, I'm talking about the 2003 one for what it's worth, not the like live action thing that's from 2019. But yeah.
yeah, that's a classic.
Yeah, I was rewatching it recently. Did you watch that as a kid? Did English?
Teen Titans.
Yeah. Did English
no,
people watch it?
two English people watch it. No, we only watch Harry Potter. That's all that gets played over here.
Yeah, I was wondering.
Harry Potter and yeah, just that. And no, yeah, I remember it being on, but I've never been a huge DC fan in general, so I guess I always just like avoided it. I've only recently, like, obviously, been watching that Harley Quinn and stuff, and that was a gamble because I was like, when I first heard about it, I was like, ugh. I don't like Harley Quinn, that Birds of Prey, and I'm not really bothered about Harley Quinn, the new Harley Quinn character, but I actually been enjoying that, and it's made me. But I've always preferred like the Gotham, like Batman world in general, anyway. So,
Sure.
you know, when it comes to DC, should I say?
Teen Titans is one of the only like DC things that I like personally. I think probably mostly just because of nostalgia for it. I think because I watched it as a kid, you know, back in the same era. I had YTV, which was like the Canadian off-brand channel, which mostly had Nickelodeon shows. Like it had Avatar and Danny Phantom, but it also had Teen Titans, which was like Cartoon Network one. So, you know, I'm still attached to all those shows that I watched back then.
Because you're only 15, aren't you? So.
Yeah. I'm one.
You're one, yeah.
But I remember the shows from 2003. Alright, well, I'm bored of Digimon. Maybe we'll take a short break for the stream and switch over to Teen Titans then.
5 viewers if you do that. Spider-Man's not going to stick around. Shadow loves this game. What are you doing?
True, I'm sorry.
Well, I guess we'll switch over to Teen Titans. At least Spider-Man can get his daughter to watch, to watch our stream.
Bring your daughter. We'll stream Teen Titans.
Not just talking about like ginger representation and.
Yeah. All right.